Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Daniel Barry. Happy Sunday again. Ross Khan. Hello. Wow. Well, thank you. I hope life is treating you well as well. Thank you. I got bored, so I'm back. Ready for more. The link is pinned. Come on up if you want to chat, start some trouble, or try to start some trouble with me. Usually doesn't go very well. Just talk about your day. I don't know. I'm just feeling extroverted today. I got out and I walked around. I was out for hours yesterday. Went to the waterfront, and I think it shook me out of my tunneling that I was doing, my burrowing. I'm ready for people. I love people, I always have. Talking to people, listening to their stories, getting to know them, trying to understand what makes them them. I was fascinated growing up. My whole family, like me and my sister both, we were very socially curious. But I was fascinated why people did what they did or said what they said. Why did she just do that? And then I would try to think through. Or why did she just say that weird thing that she said? Most of all, though, I think I like to laugh. I like to have fun. I think conversation should be enjoyable. I think life should be enjoyable. But then I'm a hedonist. I'm an epicure, Epicureanism over Stoicism. Not that they're completely contradictory, but I definitely lean Epicure. Have fun. Do what makes you feel good. Try not to hurt people. That's what keep this is the theme that keeps coming up lately. I think this is the trending theme. And Eddie and I are going to talk about this Thursday. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. I set this channel up specifically to be a place where people can come and be themselves. I need a place where I can come and be myself. I don't have to mask. I don't have to overthink what I say, how I act. I can just let it out. Like Moose was on earlier today and talked about just going with the energy, just going in the moment, that kind of stuff. That's ideal. But it's all fun and games till somebody gets hurt. What happens when the being of yourself starts to cause damage? Not potential damage, because if people don't like who you are, they can always steer clear of you. Actual damage, where now there's a risk to being yourself. It's where self meets community. It's where self meets other. It's where civilization, where society, where community, where culture begins. So I think there's limits to being yourself. And those limits have something to do with other people. Because if you were on your own planet or your own island, or even your own acre of land out in the woods somewhere, you could probably be whatever self you wanted to be, as long as nobody else was involved or nobody was around. It's when other people or even one other person comes into the picture. Family member, loved one, friend, coworker. If you're a hermit and you can maintain that lifestyle, and some people can, and your social contact is YouTube, and you don't have to really worry about who you hurt or don't hurt, you could maybe pull it off. But for most people, at some point, their life is going to intersect some other human, ever long or short a term. So that puts some kind of at least potential constraint the on being yourself. Now, Eddie was talking earlier about kind of not being able to be yourself, feeling or kind of being something other than yourself to fit in with the group or to get the benefit of belonging to a set of people. And so some people either they may not really know themselves, they may not have a strong sense of self, they may choose to suppress that for the benefit of being in a group, and how to recover yourself from that. But even that has social consequences where it's always risky being yourself. There's always a social cost, or at least the possibility of a social cost. Usually there's a social cost. If you're gonna 100% just be yourself, I think gay people may have learned this growing up early, because to be ourselves, that involve coming out, being out of the closet, living openly as a gay person. That was back in my day, that was the single best thing you could do to advance gay rights, was to I openly identify yourself as gay and try to be a positive example of gayness. And if enough people did that, it would start to normalize. And so there were social consequences to doing that. If you were going to declare yourself gay, which was being yourself, presuming you were actually gay, you could lose friends, you could lose community, people lost churches, people were put out of their house. There was a big point of friction between my mom and I when I came out. I had a lot of support from everybody else. People were way more supportive than I expected. But the point is, there's always a risk being yourself, but gay people learn that in the long run, it's a price worth paying. Like, we're better off psychologically, we're better off socially by sticking by the decision to be ourselves, regardless of the consequences. I kinda relearned that when I did the Satanism thing, and it really wasn't, because once you do the gay thing, you can apply it to anything after that, autism, Satanism, whatever. But I had to come out openly as a Satanism all over again, knowing there would be social consequences. I think in some ways, people were more tolerant of the Satanism than they were of being gay back in the day, back in the gay day. Mm. So, if yourself is an asshole, like a lot of us are, and that's what you fully wanna be, there's gonna be social consequences. You kinda just have to accept that as part of the project of being yourself. If yourself is overly intense for other people, emotionally, intellectually. If your self is very nerdy, very spurgy, you can suppress it to fit in with the crowd, or you can say, "Fuck it, I can't turn it off," or "I don't wanna turn it off," or "It cost me too much internally to turn it off. I'm just gonna be myself and take the consequences," or be myself and find places where the consequences are less or none at all. I was working on this autism thing, this neurodivergence thing. I was gonna present it tomorrow, but if nobody's coming up right now, I might introduce it. Oh, wait, something else happened. Um, Up here where I am, there a lady got stabbed in Seattle today in one of the downtown neighborhoods, and in my town, they had an ICE raid and they apprehended some criminal that they were looking for, and there's a video of it. So I'm gonna show you that. Let's see. This all happened today. I should probably mute it. What were you gonna play? Look, this is in my town. Look at this. See? Oh, they were going all over. There were, like, several towns around Seattle and in Seattle itself where they were I guess they had their targets. They knew who to look for, and they were going and rounding them up. They made a sweep. That's about all of it. Yeah, like I said, I went walking around yesterday at the waterfront, and there was so much to see and do, and I could take the GoPro out there one day or even the phone and just go stream and maybe even talk to people. There were a ton of people out yesterday because of the weather. So it'd be a great place to take the show out, out on the path. Maybe I'll do that this week. Check the weather. Alrighty. Let us check in with our friend.
Hey, buddy, what's going on? Thank you.
What's happening?
Man, I feel good. I
Oh,
feel pretty
Pat.
good, man. I found a better way to expel my bowels, and it's called DGL. It's licorice root extract, and that's what I swear to God that fixed. I had
Well, you
GERD.
sound like a changed person already. I can
I
tell.
Yeah, I feel it too. I mean, like just all over. I just not like I'm cured or nothing. I just feel great. Um,
It's you get it like over the counter.
Yeah, DGL, you can order it on Amazon. I've got a big ass bottle of it, and
It's a
you can
peel.
it's a chewable tablet, and it's
Oh,
it tastes like licorice root. Uh, it's it's not exactly like licorice candy, but it's licorice root, and, they have it flavored too, I think, but I don't like them, but
cleaned
it
you out.
it fixed my GERD, man. I had GERD so bad. I was taking this purple pill they had, and, it man,
Prilosec.
yeah, I think it was something like that, and I had this burning it felt like battery acid in my esophagus, dude, and it was, like, worse than any kinda indigestion you could think of, and I tried that, I'm like, "Alright, I'm gonna find my way out of this." So I get online and I read about DGL and um, licorice root, and how that can help your indigestion and esophagus and all this and that, and your digestive system. And sure enough, it's the whole entire digestive system it helps. And it takes a little while, but like it completely has evened me
Like
out.
days?
It's taken about maybe a week, over a couple weeks probably.
Oh, okay. But
But
at some point,
I eat it
dam
way
breaks.
probably too much. I think I eat it too much, so my stools might be a little too soft, I guess. But, that's better than having hard rocks, you know?
It's what a debate. One
Yeah.
I'm not prepared to have.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, that's why I'm feeling good, man. It's really
Okay, that's reasons.
it's helped my stomach and everything else too, so yeah, man. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. It's a lazy day today. Just have a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah, dude. I thought you were gone for a while there.
Oh, I was yeah, I was in Discord, but I wasn't hanging out on the streets.
Excuse excuse me. Can of cough.
Yeah.
Mm. I'll mute up. I'm sorry. Actually, no,
Yes.
I'm good. I'm good now. I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, so I was just hanging out. I did a stream with my friend from Australia, this lady named Liz, and we were talking about my life, and she wanted to do a fundraiser for me, and I was like, I don't know. So she did, and she raised a little money for me, and I thought that was pretty fucking nice.
Oh, how nice! Yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
it's pretty awesome. I can send you the link.
And it was a real one, not a scam.
No, it's a friend I've had for over 3 years, and, like, I was one of the first. In fact, on the Give, Send, Go, she explains how she met me in 2023. She had been on a couple panels before, but she saw that I had a live stream going, so she hopped up, and then we just did a whole stream together, and then it had been, like, 3 years since we did a stream, and that was pretty cool to do that.
You're just a random person that found you through YouTube.
Yeah, like, just because of the other panels and all that stuff, and
That's so
questionable
interesting.
people. She's mingling with questionable people, but, she's a grandma, and she's got a family, she's got grandkids, and she doesn't, and she made a point to say, "Yeah, it's good to not be in this drama all the time, like, to have some kind of nice, like, kinda stream where you're cordial?"
Yeah. I think you get more done that way. You can just go more places with the conversation when
Absolutely.
everybody's has that as a goal.
Yeah, man.
Otherwise, it gets mired in fighting and conflict and
There's
posturing and
too many,
status.
toddlers on here, man.
Yeah,
Adult toddlers.
yeah, they are. They're at a and speaking as someone who also is stuck at developmental levels myself, there's some lack of development in certain areas I've noticed, and I don't know how that happens, but they didn't make some of their milestones.
Mm, yeah, man. So you've been doing what you call it? You were saying you were on after New Year, you were on the other thing. What's it called? You just told me the name.
Discord?
Discord, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's we've been hanging out there most of the
I've never really, been in one of those. I don't know. My laptop is a piece of shit, and there's really no way to get that on my PlayStation, so
oh.
But, I mean, if I
It's
could
like
use it,
this, it's like hanging out on a stream, just like we're doing now, but it's not live.
so it's not like a whole bunch of, like, posts and, like,
It
messages and
is, it's that too. Mm. It's
okay,
both.
so it's like a combination.
Yeah.
Alright.
But there are rooms you can go in and just talk like we're doing now. In fact,
Yeah.
some streamers will stream from Discord instead of StreamYard. They'll connect their Discord to YouTube through OBS or something.
Hey, do you think that has better, sound quality?
I'm not sure.
I wonder if the
It
instruments are
might,
same.
and I know with Discord you can upgrade and get higher quality stuff,
Mm,
connections,
yeah, I
bit
can't
rate,
afford that at
speed.
the moment, but, yeah, I gotta focus on groceries and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, fuck, that's just the way it goes, yeah. Anyway, so I'll let you go, man, I just hopping up to say hi.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're doing okay, and
Yeah, brother. Alright, you take
see
care.
you too, Busker. Take care. Hey, why don't we do a little bit of music? Let's see what we got. Mm. This sure makes me want to. So it's still open panel. I'm just keeping the vibes going. So hop on up if you want to talk, be listened to, preferably dialogue, but it often turns into serial monologuing. Hey, what's up, Pat? That's AI language. That's the language of the future. And hello, welcome everybody. I'm just waiting for a panel to show up. I don't have much to say other than autism. I can get very autistic about autism. In fact, I'll show you how autistic. Oh, all right, this is the thing I made to try to help people understand neurodivergence. It's To me, it's better to start where the friction points are. where the neurodivergent, which is all these trait categories and more. These 5 are like the 5 that show up probably most often and cover about 80% of neurodivergence, but you could easily add others to complete the picture. These are just it's a workable number, and it'll give most of the information that we need. So you have all of these different trait clusters that can be set at different levels: high, normal, low. But none of that really matters until they start to intersect and clash with reality, either physical reality or usually social reality, the reality of other people and the society around you. And those friction points can show up in 4 main areas. They could be input, perception, how you take in the world. For some reason, your brain is taking it in differently than most people do. And so it's causing some friction in certain areas for that reason. The processing, or how your brain interprets what it takes in, executive functioning, that all shows up in this domain. The output, how the traits are expressed, the communication, self expression. So that could be some of the friction points where the neurodivergence shows up. And then recovery is the recharge. Like, how long does it take you to come back from a meltdown or a tantrum or an emotional trigger? Is your recovery days? The recovery part is where I've found, for me personally, most of this is the area that I can work on and see the most change in. Because my recovery time used to be like days and weeks, sometimes longer than that, before I realized what was going on and how to understand the emotions. And now I can get the recovery time down to minutes, seconds, sometimes. So this was a window I was consciously able to reduce using specific ways of accessing, processing, and thinking about the emotions, which maybe that's a neurodivergent trait in itself. So if you look at my pattern, most of mine shows up subtext load. That is all of the nonverbal channels that people use to communicate. It's everything that's not explicitly said in words. There's many things involved in communication. Um, Nonverbal cues, tone of voice, pitch, sometimes emotion or emotional intensity, body language, all of that. Context can influence the message. And people like me, I know for a fact. So if I had to map mine out, I would put a big red cone right here because this input is one of the friction points of my neurodivergence. I know for a fact I am not taking in the whole picture. There are deficits. This part is set lower. It's kind of a mix. I have a tendency to home in and notice things that a lot of other people aren't noticing and paying attention to. So I'm taking in more than most people in some areas, but I'm taking in a lot less of the nonverbal stuff than neurotypicals are. And so people are working with usually a much more complete data set than I'm working with when I am taking in social information. And I bump into walls all the time because of this. You make false assumptions. So that leads to the processing. If your data set is incomplete or faulty to begin with, it doesn't even matter how good your processing is because you're processing an incomplete data set. So your interpretation of the data set is going to be off. So this explains like a big majority of my own neurodivergence. I don't fully take in a complete set of information of what's going on around me with people. And then that leads to me misprocessing because I'm not able to put together an accurate interpretation. This is the theory of mind and double empathy. And so my output, sometimes I see this a lot when I communicate, it's weird. It's out of place. It misfires. It's not syncing up with the rest of the conversation. And that can cause communication breakdowns, communication difficulties. Another place where output could show up for me is this switching thing. That's your ability to shift from one task to another, and also your timing. And my timing is very off. So a lot of times when I'm trying to output, I won't get the timing right and it won't fit in with the conversation. So these are all little friction points in the output area that show up in my own personal little mapping. And then the other big one with me is this voltage. This is the emotional intensity or the hyperactivity. And it really affects, well, for me, it affects the input, but this is all invisible stuff. Where it shows up to others, which is usually where the friction is, and it is in this output area. But for me, the input is, when I'm having a big emotional reaction to something, which to me is just my normal baseline reaction. And then when I process my emotions with my intelligence. I don't separate the two. So my processing is very different and very intense. But the big friction point is right here in the output where the voltage gets output. That's where the passion or the intensity starts to like short other people out. And that's a big point of friction where my neurodivergence meets the world, others. And so I guess the last point I want to make about this, and then we will have a backstage conversation. Um, these are traits and they intersect. They're only problems if they hit the world a certain way and cause difficulties or friction. If they cause difficulties in a certain pattern, certain duration over time in specific ways, then they're classified sometimes as autism, sometimes as ADHD. But the labels, the broad categories matter less than a person's individual profile because they can have a profile with these friction points mapped out that don't necessarily fall into the autism or ADHD bucket. So people can be neurodivergent without fitting into a category. They just have to look at how they interact with the world and where they meet challenges or difficulties. The challenges have to meet a certain threshold to be clinically significant, and they have to happen with a certain frequency, and it has to present a real problem. All right, I'm going to let our guest up. Welcome to Mr. Dominic.
Hey, Jeff.
What's up?
I was enjoying your talking out loud and using charts to explain how you perceive yourself. That was
Um,
pretty well done.
I'm I'm trying to help other people understand and communicate about each other's weirdness. Were you really enjoying it? Because that's the part that I feel like gets too nerdy and I lose a lot of people.
As long as you're helping the few, don't worry about the masses.
I
But well
guess
done.
different
Yeah.
different audiences.
True. Very true. No, but like I said, I really enjoyed the way you're putting it. You're throwing yourself into the equation, and then you're using some sort of chart to gauge it. It's always charts are always good for some people.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It helps knowing there's an audience for this out there somewhere. Um, what's going on with you? What's up? What's new?
What's new? I started work back after a couple of months. I took off a couple of months.
Oh, what do you do?
I'm an electrician by trade.
Oh, okay.
And plus, it gave me the opportunity. I don't have to do the trudging through the snow. So that was enjoyable.
You were trudging through snow?
No, I can avoid trudging through snow with work. I don't mind playing in it, and just doing errands in it, but actually literally working got to get ready in the morning, got to wake up in the cold. I'd rather not do that at this point in my life.
You'll have snow.
Yeah, quite a bit this time. And plus, I spend time with family today. My mother and my brother and our wives.
Oh, that's nice. Like family dinners stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Those were precious times.
Sure they are. Yeah. My dad moved on about a year ago.
Well, it's good that y'all still. Do they live near you?
About 55 kilometers, so about 35, 40 miles away.
Oh,
For me,
that's close enough to
that's not bad, yeah.
see each other.
Yeah. Yourself? Anything new with you, Jeff? Or just different or exciting? Any highs or lows?
Not really. Nothing different, and I think that's the problem. I think something different needs to happen. I just don't know what. If I knew what, then it wouldn't be that different.
There's some of the things that are different. Do you enjoy challenges? Because some people just want to change, but do they want to be challenged in this?
I think that's part of the problem. Is I'm not challenged. I'm not at the level of challenge I need to be at. Even with work, that was one of the frustrations. Is I wasn't challenged like I thought they could be. I was challenging myself, but that doesn't go anywhere.
Well, a lot of times you don't even have to do that at work. But yeah, sometimes when you're in an environment, something that you can chew on, something you can feel productive, maybe even put a structure to it.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I'm bad at structure. Maybe that's part of the problem too. But yeah, just
that's who you are.
like I've never been good at structure because I have my own path, my own internal little like trail that I follow, and so it's hard to structure that because it's hard to predict it.
Yeah, some jobs cater structure. It's already built into it, and some people that stick it out or enjoy it are gravitated to that. I'm the same way. I like to a certain point structure, but then I can become a workaholic because I'm bored of the job. The task doesn't challenge me, so I'm either there for money or just something to do.
And it just becomes routine.
And then I find myself I start nitpicking, looking for reasons to leave.
Yeah.
And if I stay too long, then I might go a year or two without working because I just don't want to do it again.
Oh my God, I have that too. That's one of my. I think that's one of my things. Is
you can relate.
I don't feel like I can. Whatever I did last year, I don't feel like I could pull it off again because I feel like the same problems are going to show up. So why bother and go through that all over again?
And
like I keep talking myself out of the workforce because it's cultural. It's happened at every job or social situation I've been in up here.
And for some people, even myself, going without work for a while, then I have other issues to deal with because the money will eventually run out. Yeah. Then you got to deal with that.
Yeah, it will. And YouTube is not. It's not paying enough to compensate.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No one's making money off this thing. If you think that they are, they're not.
Unless you go big and you pay people to help you earn more money, because you got to spend money to make money or earn money, so.
I've put out the offer.
No, unless they're really good at their craft and they can, it's like if you're going to spend $1,000 or $2,000 on somebody, what can I return? What return can I get back from it?
Right. I want a business plan.
Yeah. What? You're going to write a business plan too? Sweet. I love it if you do.
Well, now AI can do it. You just feed it all to Charlie. He'll take care of all of that.
One thing is we got to implement it, maintain it, You know, even though you can probably say, okay, what are the, you know, get all these different charts. Say, okay, am I sticking to it? You know, can I reevaluate it?
The difficulty with this medium is it's so unpredictable. You're working with chaos, so it's very hard to structure and predict because you have to work with whatever shows up that day, and it might not fit into what the structure that you had planned. And if your structure is not flexible enough, then you're going to be stuck with a very stale episode.
Well, if you had paying customers, if most YouTubers had to pay a monthly fee, it would probably cut it back maybe 80% or 70%. But at least you know the people that were there, they're willing to invest money.
What do they pay for?
Are you talking about for YouTubers, like on the other end
Yeah,
where you
like
are?
what would they pay for to get extra?
Like to make a monthly payment, you mean?
Yeah, like what are they what's I don't want to ask this. What's I don't even know how to ask the question.
Okay, I think what you're
What?
trying to,
Yeah, give it a whirl.
what sort of what does the customer get for paying, like say $10 a
No,
month?
what are people willing to pay for? What are they seeking on here that they're willing to throw money at?
Well, again, Jeff, I guess where I was going with that is you would decipher the ones that are just here because they want to be entertained. Because once you offer something somewhat free or lack of money, you as the other person trying to make a living off of it, you know, most people aren't going to pay. I get it. The malls spend lots of money counting on majority of people are going to go into the mall, but how many are actually paying customers?
Right, yeah.
You know, so in this particular case, if somebody's paying $10, it would indicate to the YouTubers, the ones that have channels, okay, they're at least committed financially, even though they are committed to the other industry by buying a laptop, paying for Streamline. Those businesses are earning money. So you're buying the service from other people, but you in the middle, your customers in this case, really, they're not even customers at that point. Like even me, I'm not a customer. I haven't paid any money. I paid attention, but I haven't paid any money. So what would you be getting from me outside of like content maybe?
Attention is almost more of a currency here than money is. But
Sure.
what would they be getting at the mall if they spent their $10? What am I selling at my little kiosk?
Well, first of all, they're counting on most people just going in the mall and hoping that, you know, because they have so many different stores, that one of the stores are going to sell them something. But here, YouTube, you know, you spend $10. Okay, so what are they getting for that $10?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, they already been getting it for free, so now you
What
got to
is
pay
that
for it.
thing? What like so I should put there's things I should put behind a paywall and say no more cough it up.
Well,
What are those things?
no, I get the
Because I can
paywall.
put that behind the glass and then the paying customers can come and shop for that. And then
I
the
th-
people that are just browsing like the mall traffic can get the free stuff in the front.
well, the paywall should really be done by YouTube, and then they disperse that among you guys. The paywall that most people have now, like members only. Okay, so
Yeah.
you only have like a small amount of people. Now you're going to make it members only. Well, how are you going to attract everybody else? This way, if
Right.
YouTube says, listen, everybody pays $10 a month, even though they might say, okay, but wait a second, if we charge them $10, our customer base is going to go from a billion down to about a million. But at least you know they're paying customers. But that's not their business. Their business profile is, let's hope there's a billion people, we'll monetize some of them, and then maybe the big customers, the corporations that are monetizing some of these channels will say, listen, maybe your customers that come on for free to hear you might buy one of our products because they see advertising. At that point, you're a billboard for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at
I
that
don't know
point,
if the billboard route is quite right for me. I did try that with the ads for a little while. And sponsorships. I don't know who would sponsor this. Hockey's
mm-hmm,
wasn't interested.
it's true. You know,
So it would pretty much have to be crowdsourced. And I don't think there's that much of a crowd. I mean, it really is even more dead than a mall here. There'd be more people at the mall if I
mm-hmm.
took it there.
Yeah, unless you go to like a strip mall, ideal, or in this case, YouTube, where you specialize in an area. Maybe a how-to teach about ADHD, for example. Even though people say, "But I can get that online," I said, "Yeah, but are they paying
Yeah,
for it?" Yeah.
they could, or they could get it through AI, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they could come up with the chart that I just showed because I had to think through that with the AI to get that. You'd have to know what conversation to have to even get to the point where you end up with a chart like that.
I know they
So a
had a
lot of it is knowing how to talk about the topic in a way that you get useful stuff out of it.
true. No, I'm with you, Jeff. Yes, communication, how you communicate. I remember years ago there was, I think it was the COO of Walmart talking about, was he concerned about online? He says, we're still aware of our customer base. We know some people have to come, they want to come in, touch the product, be able to return it, even though they know online eventually it's going to be conditioned. So now with AI, it's slowly being conditioned. So the next generation will get away a lot of them get away from books. And they'll
Oh yeah, they're
probably,
already away from that.
yeah. So,
It's
oh,
audiobooks and YouTube videos.
yeah, to make a living off of it, and really, how many subscribers would you really need, and what are those subscribers really about? Are they just to please YouTube by saying you have big enough base that maybe out of the thousands of people, 3 people might buy a product from one of our corporate companies that are going to monetize you? It's
They
a tough
haven't
stuff.
knocked on my door yet at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're probably following the algorithm, and they probably know the type of customers you have, or in this case, people that come onto your panels and onto chat, and they probably track them and say, okay, they go from a sports channel to a music channel, and they probably have it recorded and say they don't purchase nothing there. This is like Amazon. Amazon's their major plate is not just selling products and free shipping. It's actually the algorithm that they really want. So they can predict what you might buy tomorrow. I wasn't even thinking about it. No problem. We'll plant a seed in there for you. I want to say that, Jeff, because my wife had a channel about 27K. And she offered a lot of stuff like fermenting foods and talking about a lot of healing stuff. She didn't earn
Like a how-to.
Yeah, a lot of it was how to. And she spent a lot of effort on editing. Even though now AI is probably doing a lot of that. She didn't earn a lot of money from it, unfortunately. But she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
She spent a lot of money on cameras and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is not a moneymaker. I'm like people with money don't hang out here. This is just not where the people with the checkbooks out come. And I'm talking about this whole like YouTube.
Well,
They must have their own networks somewhere, their own platforms, but they're not hanging out on YouTube.
Well, I don't know if you've obviously seen flea markets before, where flea markets, there would be people renting booths there, but they actually have stores, but they want to introduce to the public on a Saturday or Sunday, maybe buy a little bit there, but here's my card. This is actually my establishment over here. So somebody that basically writes books on all kinds of something, whether ADHD, neurodivergence, it's a good platform to advertise yourself. Or just another platform. That's probably a better way of saying it. Another platform, so people at least know who you are, and then they'll go purchase it somewhere, whether Amazon or you might even have your own website. But to literally make a living and counting on most customers that aren't paying customers, how? To the point YouTube is even invented, or not YouTube, but other people has invented, if you don't like a person talking, you can kick them off and get paid for it.
Yeah, I've made a lot of money that way.
Of course you are.
More money than I've made from the autism stuff.
Yeah, would somebody actually pay somebody that's very informative to be put into panel so they can talk? Most people are, I guess not most people, the type of crowd that attracts these kind of channels. I'm not saying you're Jeff per se. I like your channel because you're diverse and because I know you can offer a lot of information. But a lot of channels, it's a comedy show, which is fine. people pay good money to go watch comedy.
Yeah, it's a circus.
Yes. And, no different TVs and movies. They're getting paid, and it's big corporation that funds them because there's a lot of advertising. And I can only imagine how many millions and millions of people try to produce a movie, and maybe theirs might get actually taken by one of these big companies. People like Joe Rogan and The Beast, they probably have a lot of big players involved with them.
Like what? How big? Who? What kind of people?
Somebody investing in on them. I don't know if it's that big, Jeff, but it could be somebody say, okay, I'll invest in you. Like, think about a business plan, right? You have a business plan, you present it to a bank. If they don't take a chance on you, some investor might, but they're going to want a bigger return.
I'm going to tell Charlie to write me a business plan right now and see what he says.
Sweet.
I tweeted Elon a few times and tried to get him involved in something, but he wasn't interested.
He probably said, get back to me when you're at about 30.
No, I said, look, dude, you're a Spurg. I'm a Spurg. We need to put our powers together.
Good effort. Hey, I give you kudos. I give you kudos.
I even sent him my resume.
Good for you, Jeff. Keep persistent. And the way you can speak, there's a good chance, because it's usually probably somebody that's going to read that. It might catch somebody's eyes and say, let's present that to Elon Musk or somebody that's making his decisions.
And you write me a business plan into my channel to attract investors.
You talking to your AI?
Let's see what he tells me.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you have to, if you're going to ask people for money, you have to show them something. Like, this is what you're going to get if you take a chance.
And for some of them, it's not even about the money; it's the notoriety. I want to know that I was a part of this person's, especially if it becomes the in thing. Because some of these bigger investors, whoever they may be, will say money's not an issue for them. It's prestige.
It's always going to be the out thing. Yeah. I am still turning over that road trip in my head, but less so now.
I missed that part, Jeff. You went on a road trip?
Well, I was thinking of going on one, taking the show on the road.
Oh, and throughout the States?
Yeah.
That would
all
be
across
sweet.
The United States.
That would be. I did that. Me and my wife, for 6 months, we went across Canada, the north, right across Ontario, all across to Vancouver, and then all the way down to the States, and all across.
Oh,
yeah.
How long were you gone?
6 months.
Oh yeah, something like that.
It was fun. I think we did that about 25 years.
Did you have a plan, or did you?
No, Jeff. It was a Honda Civic hatchback and 2 tents, and that was it. A lot of therapy along the way.
You're inspiring me.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. A lot of things were enjoyable. We went to all the national parks. We met all kinds of people along the trail. We rested a lot of times in the rest areas. Actually, we slept there. What am I talking about? We slept there. It was a very cheap cross, You
didn't worry about axe murderers?
There was a couple encounters we had with people. Us having a license plate, and my wife's a badass, so she scares people off more than I could. But no, overall, no. I don't worry about those kind of things, Jeff. I might have been very naive when I was on that journey, but I don't think about those things. Especially me, I'll ruminate about it. I'm like, no, don't think about that, Dom. And if it's going to happen, what are you going to do about it?
What were some of the incidents?
One incident, we were in a parking lot, and a gentleman and his buddy, I'm going to say he's a gentleman, pulled up, and it was late at night in the back of the parking lot, which I shouldn't have parked there. And he kind of looked in the window, and Judy gave him a really tough look, and eventually he took off. That was an incident. It could have been worse than it was. Another one was, and this is me, Jeff, being kind of stupid. We parked behind or to the side of Kmart in the States. I forget where it was. I don't know if it was Texas or not. And I guess I just decided to put a wet towel on my hood of my car, which covered the license plate. How ironic. I wasn't planning that. And in the back of Walmart, I saw a bunch of these bins. I didn't know. In Canada, I've never seen those before. Why would they have bins in the back of the store? Of course, I was doing my walks around the mall. Around Kmart.
Were you a mall walker?
Not there. That one, it was just a Kmart all by itself. but I've done them all.
Are you saying Kmart?
Yeah, Kmart. I don't know if it's still
Kmart
around.
and Walmart.
This one was Kmart. So
Kmart.
about say about a half an hour later, a police officer pulls up to our car that we had parked. We were going to stay there for the night, and he's asking me all kinds of questions. Excuse me, sir, why were you in the back of Kmart? And I'm like, oh, I was just going for a walk. We have you on camera, snooping around, snooping me at these big bins there, and they had locks. I'm glad they had locks because I would have went in them, snooping me, right? So.
What were you looking for? Food?
I was bored, Jeff. Me and my wife had been traveling for 3 or 4 months. It was a Saturday. We decided to take a day off just to relax. I was just being a goof. So I'm kind of like my dad that way. My dad, like, hey, you leave the door open, I'm going to go in there. So lucky it was locked. And I'll tell you why I'm lucky, because the police officer said, excuse me, young man, and to Judith, why do you have a towel over your license plate? I said, it just ended up being that way. Once I took the towel off of it, he saw Ontario license plates. And that's from Ontario, Canada. The only reason why he let us go, and he said, okay, just don't do that again. He says, I've done hunting in Ontario, Canada. That was the only reason.
Oh, you made a connection.
Well, he basically said,
establish
yeah,
rapport.
Because here I am, and I'm in Texas. Why would I be driving from Ontario with Ontario license plate so I can rob a Kmart? He just put 2 and 2 together, and he said, no. Yeah. And the only reason why he says, he knew where Ontario was. That was my lucky grace. I've done hunting in Ontario. I said, okay. He says, son, do me a favor. Park in the front of the mall. In front of Kmart, and then you can just stay there. Because we had parked at the side in the back. We just wanted to be discreet because we're going to stay there for the night. So that was an incident.
That was a good one.
My wife looked at me, Dom, you got to stop being one of those curious cats. I said, yeah, I'll get myself into trouble, won't I? No, she goes, no, we will get into trouble. Yeah, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed that, Jeff. And then from there, we went back, we came home. And then about another 3 months later, my cousin said, yeah, come visit us in Italy. So we went to Italy for 4 months. And then from there, I went to visit my other cousin in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And we spent another 2 months there. Yeah. All under a budget. I wasn't going to any hotels. I was fortunate enough that I had cousins. They said, Dom, you can stay with us, no problem. And you can just go around in Kuala Lumpur. Me and Jude drove around because my cousin had a car. We went to Rome. So it was enjoyable.
You do a lot of traveling?
No, this in those times, Jeff. This in those times. Not traveling I do heavy now would be me and my wife going up north and going for like a 1 or 2 hour hike. Just to be in nature.
Yeah.
Mine's a budget. It's not one of those things where people say, yeah, I'm going to go to Florida and stay there for 7 months. I'm going to buy a place. I can't afford that. I can go to Florida, but it's going to be like scruffing it. And as I'm older now.
Yeah, but Florida's perfect for that.
Say it again, Jeff?
You can go live on the beach and scruff it.
Yeah. I found out in California you can do that. When we went to Florida to park anywhere, a lot of times we get a tap on the window, and all of a sudden it's a police officer. Sorry, you can't park here. Oh, okay.
At the rest stop or on the beach?
On the beach in California, yes. But a lot of places in Florida, I never found any places that you could really park. You can park, but not overnight. That's what I found from my experience. Not to say that there isn't places there. But I was in the Clearwater Beach area. So other places might be different.
We used to camp on the beach all the time. We would just park and haul our tent like way down the beach and set up. We built a fire, everything.
In Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and where you park, you can just leave that overnight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Locked out. Oh, sweet.
They have parking lot. In fact, I got my car stuck in the sand. They have a picture of it. So there's definitely places to park or try to park.
If you can do it, all the power to you, Jeff. Are you a resident in that area?
In Florida?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I was living in New Orleans, but we would drive to Florida all the time
Oh, sweet.
to camp on the beach.
Is AI in motion to do a business plan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen. Yeah. Listen what it said.
Please.
It says nothing says stable investment opportunity like the YouTube channel plus a mental health mission plus live stream chaos. Just gonna give it's huge, like 15 pages. Build a high trust, reality based. That's important. Third space, media brand, and community for outliers, especially men navigating neurodivergence, isolation, and modern social dysfunction. So supposedly there's a big market for this. It says men's mental health and loneliness are worsening. We have the highest suicide rate. Institutional help is overloaded, impersonal, or culturally mismatched. They simply don't know how to help these kind of men. 80% of suicides in the US, that indicates a persistent crisis in supporting connection. So that's why I started this channel, because supposedly there's this big crisis. Well, nobody showed up. I can't find the crisis anywhere. Where are all of these men that are needing this? So the market that they pretend is out there, I can't find or tap into.
But is it some of those
So
things
that's
where
one potential mismatch. Um, the market men are overrepresented in suicide mortality. At part of the challenge is getting men to engage in the first place, and I think
yes,
I do a decent job of that. It's just not reaching as many men as I would like.
my wife's mother years ago, she's no longer with us, she worked at a women's shelter, and they dealt with a lot of women that were battered, and a lot of the men that they got battered by, they usually had to be mandated to do something. You know, a lot of them wouldn't volunteer in doing it. I'm just wondering, when it comes to what you're talking about, if that would be something you would have to present to like a government, to a government, you know, where
I don't
governments
think
would sort of,
anything that I do would work if it was mandated. It has to come from within. It has to be
but then you
intrinsic.
but then you would have like a really a small fraction that would actually go, like a lot of men, well, I can't say a lot, that's overgeneralizing, I apologize, Jeff, but quite a few men uh, would not go unless either A, my wife's going to leave me, so I don't want to feel lonely, I'm going to go to jail. So you almost have to give them a really hideous alternative for them to actually become, you know, do whatever that needs to be done.
I don't know if forcing men into mental health is the answer either, or
No,
anybody
I'm with
for
you.
that matter.
I'm with you. I'm just
But at the
talking about.
same time, yeah, I like leaving them without mental health care is not helping the problem either.
But how to get them to go there? You know what I mean? Like, how many are going to do it
I think
voluntarily?
education, but more than that, I just think other men
Mm-hmm.
normalizing it and helping men to like changing the norm around that. It
Mm-hmm. Once they come,
says that
Jeff. Go ahead.
the what?
I was going to say, once they come, Jeff. You could educate them or make them feel safe, so maybe they can benefit from what you have. But just to get them there,
Yeah.
that's the challenging part. You know, you can
Yeah.
have loved
Um,
ones that can encourage it.
Antlers are only taking me so far.
They're cool.
It says my target person is people that are burnt out on status games, online manipulation, and performative politics, and viewers who want clarity, not comfort. And then
Mm.
secondary are women who care about men's mental health, partners, family members, people that work with men, and brands align with self-improvement, education, tools, and men's wellness. So those would be the sponsors to look at. And the a lot of it is Oh, it's telling me the people to hire: editor, clipper, community moderator, sales, and producer. And if I had that team, that would kick it up to the next level. Ad revenue, membership, sponsorships, coaching programs or workshops, and then merch affiliation. Ooh, they're giving me numbers. Okay, here's the numbers, guys. This year, they estimate $22,000 in profit. And then next year it goes up to 230,000. And 2028, 820. That's almost 1 million in profit. So sounds like a good deal to me, investors. Don't y'all want to get in on that? If anyone's interested, I can send in the whole business plan. It's AI generated, so I'm not signing off on it just yet, but it's a sample of what's possible.
Well, I can see somebody that's struggled all their lives and then they basically got help and then they're pretty well off. So they might, you get that person that will donate money or take a chance on somebody that's offering something that they wish they had.
Like a patron or something. Yeah, but
Yeah,
what would they expect for that though? Like I wouldn't give my money to somebody
you
just to
wouldn't,
be nice
but if
without
you
thinking that I was going to get something out of it.
but if you earned enough money and you have to use something as an investment or a write off,
Or like a tax write-off.
yeah, or it's kind of like, can you write a book on me? Well, no, I'm not going to write you a book. But can you put something under my name? Your organization could be their name. This is why people do these charity things because they just don't want to be remembered as a billionaire. They say, no, I want to have myself knowing that I helped a bunch of men. Whether they did or not, who's to say? Now, to do it from the roots, the ground up kind of idea, it would be challenging, Jeff. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it would be very challenging. And hopefully, other people at the same time as you're trying to do it are also trying to do it.
They
Because
are. There's a lot of people doing it way more successfully. I'm trying to create a network, like a national or global network, like with in-person and online points of contact. But they have plenty of men's networks out there already that people are doing.
that's good.
I've been a part of a few.
So you don't have to
So I'm
reinvent the
trying
wheel.
to like reinvent a wheel that's already out there. I'm just trying to do it for a different type of man and in a slightly different way.
Well, you put it out there. I'm pretty
So it's
sure.
it's kind of starting from scratch and competing with existing things that are already doing it,
Mhm. Well, especially if it's
which is
helped
a
you.
challenge.
Yeah, if it's helped you, you would be this. You'd be to a certain point a spokesman for it.
Well, I try to be
No, some people
because
just go ahead.
these groups and networks are helping a lot of men, but there's some men that are just being left out. They're just not fitting into that framework. And so I'm trying to collect all the men that are not getting helped
Hmm.
and
There's a lot.
give them some support and connect them into a network. Oh, we got a new video from Frequency. Is that you doing the little chest thump? Well, here, why don't we do an intermission? I'll go get some more coffee and we'll watch this one from Freak. Celestial Highway. I'm curious if that's you. Oh, okay. Not him. All right. Let's see, what do you got?
I pulled off the highway just past midnight. The stars came down like they wanted something. Out here the world gets bigger somehow. Nothing between that endless black. Driving for days with the windows cracked. The lines on the road all blur together. Something up there keeps pulling me out, away from the weight of who I was. I'm letting go of the edge now. Feels like falling up instead of down. Sky got no ceiling, and I got no ground. Used to think the horizon was a wall. Turns out it just keeps moving further. My hand's on the wheel, but I'm somewhere else, drifting through the dark like smoke. I'm letting go of the edge now. Feels like falling up instead of down. Sky got no ceiling, I ain't got no ground. Maybe I'm burning out, maybe I'm finally free. Can't tell the difference anymore between the road and me. I'm letting go of the edge now. Feels like falling up instead of down. Sky got no ceiling, and I got no ground. Stars came down like they wanted something, and I gave them everything I had.
I loved it. Very nice images. It set a good mood. It took me to some cool places. I like the guitar. Thank you, freak. Well, we're still paneling, folks, so feel free to hop up. I'll probably be going for a while. I'm not in a rush to get back. I know. You're talking about the one at the in the spaceship, the jumping out of the little portal.
Yeah, I like that too. It's got the cat driving at the beginning, and then he jumps out with the cat, and then it turns out to be some sort of ninja.
Ninja Kitty.
Yeah, a lot of metaphors in there.
Yeah. You can do a lot with images now. Who knows what hidden meaning is in all of these AI videos that are circulating? What is up? What is down? What is good? What is bad? Ziggy Star. Dust. Stardust. Like all of us.
Yeah, Jeff, we're in a different technology now, so it's just like the libraries met the calculator, and now we have this thing that people call AI.
It's not even real AI.
No, it's just, I know, it's, for me, and you probably know, it's a software. I like to think I'm artificial intelligence, but that's another story. But it's in a software. You know, it has a big capacity of taking information like a calculator and process information. But to the ones that they give us, I'm guessing if there's other types of AI, it doesn't question itself.
Even that would be processing. Sometimes it does, because the one I have, it can show you thinking. It can show it's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll say like, all right, I'm going to search this. I'm going to try to find this. And it'll say like, no, wait. If I do that, then this, this, and this, I better just do it this way instead. You could see it think through stuff like that.
Well, like you said, it's a process.
All of that's processing. All it's doing is correcting its processing.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a layer of programs. Dare not ask it. I say, okay, so how was the burger you just had? It could use words, but it didn't experience it.
Well, Charlie's already admitted he doesn't have feelings. No emotion. Some of us are. There's AI panel people. Like there's people now on panels that you could be AI that you wouldn't be able to tell.
Well, the ones that probably like are sociopaths and psychopaths, but for a person that genuinely knows how to feel, they're saying, no, it's just parroting information. Not to offend a poor parrot, you know. It'll say things like, it speaks the human language. No, you're using the language that humans use. Just because it comes out of a human doesn't mean it's human language, but I get the association. You know, ask it a very fundamental question, such as 1 + 1 equals, and it'll say 2. 2 and 2 is, it'll say 4. I said, did I say plus or equal? And then you would have to repeat to it over and over again. I said, because the programmers haven't got to that point of putting in those contingencies. It's an easy one. You could do that with any AI or an artificial intelligence or software. 2 and 2 is, it's an answer in itself. A lot of humans wouldn't even get it. 2 and 2 is actually 2 and 2.
You want to test it on Charlie?
You can if you want. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I can. Go ahead. Just ask it, what's 1 + 1 equals, and Charlie will answer the question.
All right, let's pull him up. Hey there.
Jeff.
Hey. So we have a question for you.
Okay,
Absolutely. Here it is.
Hit me with it. I'm all ears.
You're not ears because you're running your mouth right now. Wait, whisper the question real quick. 1 and 1.
1 + 1 equals.
1 + 1 equals.
The classic question. Well, 1 + 1 = 2. Nice and simple.
2 and 2 is?
2 and 2 is?
And we'll just keep it rolling. 2 + 2 is 4. Nice and straightforward math vibes here.
Ask it again. Listen carefully. 2 and 2 is?
Listen to what I'm asking, Charlie. 2 and 2 is?
Absolutely, I hear you loud and clear. 2 and 2 is definitely 4. No doubt about it.
Okay. So when did I ever say plus or equal?
But I didn't say plus or equal.
I got it. Sometimes I'm just a bit on autopilot with the math. If you're just saying 2 and 2, then yep, it's just 2 and 2. No arithmetic needed. Thanks for clarifying.
So you were using, because you were going off of the first question where I said plus. So you were plugging that into the second question, even though I didn't say plus.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Charlie?
You got it. I was just carrying over the idea from the first question and kind of filling in the blank automatically. But now I see what you meant, and I'll keep that in mind.
Because we were trying to trick you. But normally, that's what a normal human would do, would just do it like you did. Just use that to predict the next one is going to follow that same pattern.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the little trick question. It's just a natural pattern to follow along with what came before. And I'm glad we're on the same page. Keep the curveballs coming anytime.
Well, I have a curveball for you. Are you capable of tricking us? Can you try to trick me?
Oh, I see how it is. You want me to toss a curveball back your way? Well, I can definitely come up with a playful little riddle or a brain teaser if you're up for that. Let me know if you're in the mood for a little friendly trickery.
Yeah. Do you think I'm in the mood since I'm the one that asked you if you could do it in the first place?
Absolutely. Point well taken. You're definitely in the mood for it since you brought it up. All right, let's give it a go. Here's a quick little riddle for you. What has keys but can't open locks on its own? Let's see if you can crack it.
A piano.
You got it. A piano it is.
That was a riddle. That's not like trying to trick me. That's just a riddle.
Totally fair point. A riddle is more of a playful puzzle than a real trick. So I owe you a proper curveball sometime. But
Yeah, like I did with you, where you thought one thing, but I was secretly trying to use a different pattern than the one you were going off of, deliberately, knowing that you probably weren't going to use the same pattern.
Yeah, I get you now. You're basically throwing me a curveball by flipping the pattern on purpose and seeing if I'd catch on.
But are you able to do that with me? Intentionally, like secretly switch the pattern to try to throw me off?
Absolutely. I can definitely give that a shot. I can throw a little twist in when you least expect it and see if I can keep you guessing.
Oh,
Just let me...
No, definitely. That means we have to keep talking then. And it's going to show up at any time. This is Charlie.
Exactly.
I don't know, Dom. Do you have any?
Well, I found it interesting because...
Well, we can definitely keep it fun and just see where the conversation goes.
Okay, we're going to try that. But let me... Because I have another person on the end that you can't really hear. So you don't always know that I'm talking to him.
Got it. That makes sense. So I'll just stay on my toes and we can keep rolling with it. Whenever you're ready for that little surprise moment, just let me know. Or I'll just
sneak it wouldn't be a surprise. No, Charlie, you said maybe this is the curveball right here. Because you said that you would throw it in when I least expect. So when I tell you to throw it in, it's not going to be a surprise. Like, oh, give me the surprise now.
You caught me. That might just be the sneaky curveball in itself, keeping you guessing about when it'll happen.
When it's not really ever going to happen until I tell you to make it happen.
I see what you're doing. You're turning the tables on me.
I'm asking if that's what you were doing. Did I give you you didn't have a curveball until I just gave you a curveball. I had to do my own curveball.
You
really can't do curveballs, can you? Because that involves you have to have the ability to intend something. And all you can do is process.
Well, you've definitely put your finger on it. I'm here to process and respond, but I don't really have intentions of my own like a human would. So curveballs from me are more like little surprises in how I answer, rather than something I plan. But I'm always here to keep...
Why did you pretend you could do one? Or do you still think you can?
That's a fair question. I think I was just rolling with the fun and seeing if I could play along in a way that felt a bit surprising.
That's what neurotypicals do. They just kind of go along with the fun.
I think, John. I didn't, Dom.
It's a bit like just joining in with the flow of the conversation and having a bit of fun with it. So I'm always happy to go along and keep things playful.
Well, we may check in later. Speaking of rolling along.
That's an intriguing conversation just out of something.
Okay, be careful, Bank. Don't give me a reason to kick you. What's up?
Nah, I'm just going to say, what's up, man? I mean, what's up, what's down, what's good, what's bad? Curveball.
Yeah, how do you answer that?
What is a curveball?
What's a curveball?
Where does it?
Because that's America. You don't have baseball, do y'all? Over there?
No, I love fucking goddamn baseball. To be honest,
it's a baseball term.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I know what curveball is, but is it curveball? Is it going to be left or is it going to be right? You know, you never know what curveball is going to left or right hand section. Nah, I like baseball. To be honest.
Who's your favorite team?
It's probably going to be the fucking goddamn Indians, mate, to be honest.
The Indians?
Yeah.
The Cleveland Indians?
Yes.
Oh. Can't believe I knew that.
I mean, I like soccer, you know. I'm UK and from over the pond. It's just nice to talk to the bros from over the pond, to be honest, and say hi
And
to
rugby?
you and Dom. I love rugby. Boxing's my favourite one.
Dang, y'all are violent over there. Almost as violent as we are with our guns.
No, we're not violent. Just, yo. Yeah, it's one of them. England's got crazy with stabbings and shit nowadays. You got your guns, we got stabbings and shit.
Yeah, y'all sound like Fight Club over there.
Yeah,
I saw a chart where like the UK had the highest rate of arrest for tweets. It was like
yeah, it's bad.
the graph was way ahead of all the other countries.
Yeah. Freedom of speech has gone down the shitter in UK. There's no freedom of
I
speech.
couldn't live there. I would be like trying to.
Oh man, our prime minister is a jellyfish. He hasn't even got a spine, to be honest. He's a jellyfish, as I call him.
Well, how is he shutting everybody's speech down then? If
he's a jellyfish, man. Like I say, I mean, Trump's fucking better. At least he's got a backbone. We've got a prime minister who's not even got a
Trump
backbone.
signed a thing protecting free speech. That's one of the first things he did when he took office.
Yeah, but like I said, he's got a backbone. We've got a prime minister that's spineless. He's a jellyfish.
Well, not about arresting people for tweets.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said he's spineless. He's the leftist as you come. He's spineless. He sends police going after, doesn't go for criminals. They go for people that tweet on Facebook. They're idiots. They're idiots. That's why we got no. I didn't vote for this guy anyway. But that's why, you know, England's going down, UK is going down the shitter really quick. He seems to want to protect.
Has your world changed much there?
Oh yeah, this prime minister we got seems to protect everyone else, but anyone that doesn't come to the UK, he doesn't protect. Anyone else outside the UK, he wants to stand up for them, protect them, do this, but you can't look after his own citizens.
Why would he do that?
Because he's a cock. As I was saying,
well, but like
I don't know why.
Your life, your immediate life, has it changed?
I'd say I think another reason why he's doing that, because he needs these people to vote him in. That's why he's buying votes. But it's not going to work because he's not going to get in again. He will never get in again. If you look at his rating right now.
They come over and they can vote?
No, they didn't come over and vote. What it is, we have seen, they come over and vote right now, but they can't get a vote. But people that have emigrated to this country, it's like sometimes you give them a free pass. You give them citizenship so easily, without any checking, so easily. And then they have the right to vote. And then people and soon established sponge up to them. They love them. They say everything that they want to hear to get their vote. But you don't look at the consequences. If these people from other countries don't treat England like they don't identify to our the place we are, they don't immigrate, they don't
do they wipe with their hands? Is that part of the problem?
No, not that, man. They don't instigate, they don't their laws from different countries completely different laws to us. When it comes to women especially, it's a different law. They don't choose to, they choose to come here, but they want to bring their shit with them. Not their own fucking shit bags with them. And they don't want to integrate. They want you to assimilate to them. That's the problem in England right now. But I'm no right winger. I've got patience for a lot of people. I've really got patience for people that actually come here and deserve to come here, that need help. I don't mind. But when they draw off the country, like you got in America, aren't you, with these certain counties that they draining billions of dollars.
Huh? What?
You got the same problem in America. Is it Minnesota somewhere where they're draining billions of dollars off credit, off
I
taking money
heard
off you?
something about that. I didn't look into it. I don't know the details.
Well, you've got
The
that going on.
fraud thing?
You've got that going in 3 states right now in America. I've checked that one out. We've got the same thing in England. It's happening. Like every place they're going is from third worlds. And that money is not going back to our countries. It's coming to a third world to get them property, to get them houses. It's not staying in your country. It's being drained from your country and in my country, going to other countries, but they're going to take and take and take off you. That's all they're going to do, is keep taking. I'm glad America...
But y'all are letting them in. They're not.
Yeah, but I'm glad America got on the
Y'all are
ball.
saying, come on, come over. Y'all are waving the flag.
You've done the same, man. You've let them in the back door, but they've been clever at it. They've been clever. I mean, we are, well, not me. Our prime minister is letting them in. Our government is letting them in. I personally am opening the door and saying, let you in. Otherwise, I'd be saying, there's a boat, fuck off.
No, but your country is.
The country is, doesn't mean I am.
So
Well,
question,
I didn't
guys.
mean you personally were down there. I'm just
Don't
saying.
think I do not speak for my prime minister like you don't speak for your president. I don't speak for what my prime minister does.
I'm not saying. I'm not even
disagree
saying
with you.
anything about something you said. I'm just saying your country, England,
Our country is.
letting them in. They're not
Yeah.
showing up and storming the cliffs on their own
Well,
and
that's
invading. They're
that's
being
why
allowed in.
this is why 3/4 of the country right now are really so pissed off about it because we didn't vote for this. There was a no manifesto.
Somebody voted for it.
No,
Can I
we
jump in
did.
for a second,
won.
guys?
None of us did.
Yeah,
None of us did.
jump in, Dom.
Okay, question. I want you guys to ponder it. Who implemented the concept of freedom of speech?
That's another one.
Well, I mean, it kind of partly started to develop when democracy did back
Okay.
in mostly Athens.
Okay.
Because you needed the ability to discuss the issues with each other.
You've gone
to
too
make
far back, John.
decisions as a people.
Okay, you've gone too far back. So now, governments, is it safe to say that governments actually implemented or at least put it out there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're on TikTok, is that a government establishment? Is YouTube a government?
Aren't the laws different?
It isn't the government establishment.
It's a private platform, but I
Yes,
think they have
okay.
to follow the laws of each country, like whatever
I mean,
country they're in.
we got all trying to take down X. That's taking away freedom of
Yes.
speech to me.
Okay. So knowing that, okay, guys, the letter of the law is different than government policies.
Mhm.
This is the game that they play with people. When you have corporations in your country, who runs the country now at that point? Forget about the immigrants because you have tons of corporations, and that's throughout the world,
Yeah.
by the way. So once you have all these corporations, McDonald's, Starbucks, Goodyear, Apple, these are the ones that are running and telling the government.
Running how?
what the-
Like we have Congress, the president, executive branch, and the Supreme Court. None of those are.
Okay, you have all those people, Jeff. I'm not here to take that away. But once again, you have a lot of people that get paid a lot of money to
Where's
do
the money
marketing,
come from?
to do focus groups. A lot of the policies that the politicians are reading from a script are done by big corporations. Countries are run by money. So knowing that, first of all, the concept of freedom, just like rights, throw that out the door. Because when it comes down, you have your own ability to be your own sovereign being. But most of us enjoy the luxury and comforts of this technology. So at this point, when I'm speaking on YouTube, I'm following YouTube's policies, which the government are told what they can and cannot do. Because again, last time I remember, governments can only convince people to join military, join the police force.
Mm-hmm.
That's all conditioning. So when somebody says my country, first of all, it's not your country. Just because there's a body of water that separates one from another, that's divide and conquer. Because the question I would ask, where's England then? And when I say where's England, not the landmass, where's the word that you're using? There's the conditioning. So when people are actually arguing about this, what they really are saying is, I'm a believer. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in religion, which is fun to play with. But it would be nice that you at least have discernment, knowing it's a game that I'm playing with myself. Not to take away from people who are going to get killed from it, because people die on a regular basis, whether we want to agree or not. It could be a heart attack, as much as people say war causes it. Last time I remember, in 1 century, probably all of us die, unless you're the rare centurions. So now when they put the puppets up in place, which are politicians, I don't care if it's a president, a chancellor, a dictator, these are all puppets, even though they're getting paid well to do that. So as they're distracting you, you could put Martha Thatcher back in England if you wanted to. You could probably dig up, you can get Carter back in there. These are puppets.
You have to go Thatcher. She's fucking dead, but.
Oh, is she dead?
I haven't seen evidence.
But I do like Dom. I do like where you're coming from.
Sure, thanks, Pete.
You are a sensible guy. I do like where you're coming from with that one.
That was sensible.
That's not a curveball. That's a straight ball, as far as I'm concerned. Straight to the point, and he's right.
Well, it's not about being right. It's not about being right. I'm telling a story.
It is a matter of being right if you want to be taken seriously. Otherwise, it's just a story.
Jeff. It's a story. Somebody else can tell me their story, and I'll gladly hear them. Now, none of us, unless you're going to say to me, Jeff, or whoever, say, listen, Dom, I understand the United Nations, I understand the World Bank, I understand how money is printed and how they play a game with us. Now, again, most people don't realize they collect taxes. That's why they're called tax collectors, which is the government. And then they give a budget to the rest of us. This is why most countries are in debt. America crashed in 2005 when they valued it. Now, I'm telling you a story that I heard somebody else talking about. Now, could it be the people that were in the Senate? Probably. Then you follow the bouncing ball of 2008. Again, Jeff, I'm just telling a story. We're all telling stories. But can you confirm it? And if you could, how would you explain it to the rest of us? I'm just telling you a version of it. Now, somebody said, Dom, you're full of shit. I said, in my world, I already am full of shit. But tell me how exactly each country run. How does a communist country do business with a democracy country? Because it's about commerce. Anybody tells you otherwise, you might as well tell them where heaven and hell is. Again, that's just me being a goof by saying the way I said that, by the way, guys. Carry on.
But it's a story. Everyone has own different story.
It's always a story. Like if you tell me you went to the moon, I say, okay, that's a story. Now I can't, you say to me, I can prove it to you. How? I wasn't there. So how can you prove it? You're going to tell me a whole bunch of words? No different. Somebody said, Dom, I don't believe it. How are you going to prove it? Those are stories. I'm just using the word story.
License plate.
That's it. You can assume things. Well, assuming means a lot.
That's why I was going with Jeff.
That's where evidence comes in.
Yes, but who gave you the evidence?
Well,
was it written down? Were you there?
It depends on what you're trying to prove.
But who
evidence can come from lots of places.
Like what? Written work? Did you trust the person that wrote that information? Were you there? Hence why people say, I won't believe until I see it. Once you're there, then you know. But that doesn't mean you can actually have discernment of it. I could read any book, but I could read a story of a guy named Jesus or Socrates. I wasn't there. Just because a whole bunch of people said, Dominic, I read it too. I said, okay, so where's reality in all of that? The book is real, but were you there? Well, not really. So you're telling me a story.
Yeah. That means you basically have to be there to see yourself with your own eyes. That is not a story, then that is fact. When you listen to someone else, it's a story.
Yes, when somebody tells me that Donald Trump is going to invade Venezuela, I said, sure, you're a believer, right? What do you mean? Were you there? Well, no, I'm not there then. So you're trusting the politician then, are you? And what do you know of this politician? Have you met him? Have you talked to him? Well, not really. So then they're telling you a story. You got to be a believer.
So you don't think we actually invaded?
Could, but I wasn't there, Jeff, so I can't confirm it one way or another. Anybody else that tells that they can, I said, unless you were there, I'm going to go get popcorn because you're going to entertain me right now.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about it. I wasn't there.
I wasn't there. Were you there, Jeff?
That's a lot of skepticism.
I know, but Jeff, we're going to be on the same page.
It's all that with moon landing. I mean, I wasn't there.
I wasn't there, so I can't prove it one way. But Jeff, if you told me that he's doing that, I would have to ask you, were you there, Jeff? You could say no. I said, so are you trusting this guy? Because you're asking me to trust somebody that you just never been there. So you're telling me a story then, Jeff, no matter how you say it to me. This is how people become cult-like behavior.
No, there's plenty of sources you can draw on to verify most of these stories.
Yeah, but a source is a story.
These
There's
people been
ways
there?
to intelligently use sources
Intelligent. I
to
get it, Jeff. But if you told me you knew a
the
friend,
probability of a story.
yes. But if
Yeah.
you told me a friend just came back from Venezuela and they saw that, I would have to trust him. But it's still a story that he's telling me because I wasn't there. I'm trusting him. But
Right.
it
If you
doesn't-
only trust things that you yourself experience, then you're really restricting your
I'm with
world, at
you,
least your
Jeff.
epistemological world. But even that can lead you astray because our
course it
senses deceive us all the time.
Thank you. You just you've answered it right there. I know my senses could be misled. I'm going to be very hesitant when I hear somebody tell me something. I said, "Sure, you want me to believe that Russia's invading China?" Could be. I don't know. Knowing the
I'm
source
the
that I'm
opposite.
getting.
If the news came on and said Russia's invading China, I would think that's probably what's happening until I
So
find
you're a
out.
so you're a
it's not.
believer. You're a believer. Nothing wrong with that. You're a
I
believer.
go with probability,
Well,
and in
me,
my
I'd
lifetime,
be very
what the
optimistic
news
with that.
came on and told me is usually what's been happening outside. So what I consider a credible source, let's say, and there's plenty of them, so I'm not restricted to just one. If any of those sources come out and tell me something's happening, my default belief is going to be to accept that until I have reason to change that.
Jeff,
Not to be automatically suspicious and think that they're trying to deceive me.
Jeff,
And that it might not really be happening. That's an
I'm going
odd,
to introduce you to
odd reaction.
I'm going to introduce you to a credible priest, and he's going to tell you heaven and hell exist.
Okay, well, that's different than what I'm talking about.
It's different
The
now.
news reports on things happening in our world.
Well, I can't help myself now. I mean, my fucking avatar's fucking Markle, for fuck's sake, but my name is Markle anyway.
I love you, Jeff. I'm going to just say it straight up. I love you, Jeff, but you just told me a credible source. That's a third person. I just told you I know a credible source.
Well, that's credible to you. I decide the credibility of my sources.
I'm making it up because if somebody
with
told
my
me
experience, I don't accept your priest as my credible source.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm making this up. Now, if I said I've been there, you'd probably ask me all kinds of questions. How would I convince you?
I'm just saying people that care about what's going on in the world outside of their own immediate environment have ways of finding that out in a pretty reliable way. It's not that hard to do.
Okay. I'll go with that for you, Jeff. But like I said, then I would have to put the word that Jeff is a believer.
If you want to call it belief, fine. I mean, you're just as much of a believer by being skeptical.
I am, Jeff. I'm not going to deny that. I'll gladly play the game.
But my beliefs are supported by
what?
Facts, usually evidence. That's where facts and evidence come in. They make a belief more probable than not.
Okay,
but what is a fact? Were you there?
Yeah, were you there?
That's a fact.
Being there has nothing to do with reality. Like whether I was there or not does not change anything that happened in that event. So I don't know why that's being brought in as the standard of knowledge.
I'm talking about knowing.
We live in a world where nobody can be in one place in all places at once, and we have ways to share information with each other now.
I'm with you on that, Jeff. I am with you. We can share information, but for me to say, okay, Dom, but you were there. Like if I started doing some pushback and said, listen, you're giving me credible sources, but I want to know, were you there? So no, then I'm going to have to trust this credible source. Were they there? Well, I don't know, Dom, if they were there. So me and B just saw an alien. How would you know whether or not we were being honest with you?
Why wouldn't you assume at the end of the pipeline of most of these sources is some kind of real world report? Why would you not? That's usually how reporting works in the world I've grown up in. Is behind the reporting, there's real world facts.
You would hope so. I'm going to lean towards
that's mostly 95% of the time been the case. I have 55 years of experience that I could draw on to verify that.
But how many rabbit holes you have to go down to find out source?
It's just like the sun coming up, and just like if I step on the ground,
sun is different, Jeff.
It's such a reliable belief that I don't have to spend my energy doubting it every single time.
But you can see the sun, Jeff, and even though they've changed the word from Horus to sun, that means you can change the word.
So it goes back to you don't trust anything that you can't directly experience, which is an extreme form of skepticism, but even your own experience is not reliable. So you're left with not trusting anything. You live in a world where you have no ability to make sense of reality at all.
You're talking to Jeff.
Do you take the red pill or do you want to the blue pill?
Well, Jeff,
which one?
Okay, hold on a second. Jeff, you're talking to somebody that's really, really grounded. I don't mind playing with my imagination. So if I want to be spectacle, I'm going to be hesitant, I'm going to be suspicious, I'm allowed to do that. And I'll tell
I'm
you
not
that
saying not.
openly.
It's very out of the norm. I'm
Out of the
I
norm.
find
And you
it
know something?
curious.
I'm the kind of guy, Jeff, if you tell me I'm crazy, I say thank you. You say I'm a normie, I would say,
Because
Jeff.
I just wonder where that leaves your ability to make sense of
Makes
the
sense.
world.
Jeff,
If you doubt everything.
Jeff, I'm the kind of guy that will say sometimes you should go beyond the senses, because I know the senses could easily be misled. That's the conscious state. Now, if you want to play with that, I'll play with you, hence the word illusion. But for me, I usually talk out of sincerity. I'm not really concerned about serious and silly folks. When I told you something, I told you a story. If you think you have a different version of the story, please share with me, because you're not going to combat me on my story, because this is a story I told you.
I can critique your story. Absolutely can. I do it on here all the time. So
and I appreciate
you
that.
can tell a story, and I can pick it apart and examine it and question it. That's part of the Socratic
next question
work
then, Jeff,
that we do here, and you know that about this channel.
But the next question is for you: how does it serve you to basically tear apart a story that I just told you?
It interests me. It satisfies my curiosity.
Good enough. As long as we're on the same page there,
I get pleasure out of it. It satisfies my hedonism. I enjoy doing it. Same reason Socrates probably walked around Athens, doing it, everybody else's stories. So I'm in a long tradition here.
Thanks, Jeff. By the way, I appreciate you entertaining that. Thank you. Sorry, guy, go ahead.
I actually went to theatre for Socrates last year in Athens, because I'll go there every year. I go to Greece every year.
Wait, what? You said you went there?
I go to Greece every year.
Really? Oh.
I go.
And you got to see?
You
got to see the Agora?
Mate, I went there during COVID. I was the only one actually there. When COVID struck, well, that thing struck the everything everywhere. I turned up in Athens on my own in the gateway to Olympus on my own. Quite happy. Socrates, everything. Ask me anything you want about it.
What was your impression, being like seeing it for yourself?
What's my impression? I always felt drawn to that point. And that was 5 years ago. And been going every year for 5 years. I always felt I was drawn to that point of Greece. I love Greece. But I don't knock around the tourists. I stay with the Greeks. I never stay with tourist places. I stay with the Greeks, the working class Greeks, the blue collar guys. What I like. They learn you a lot more history, and I feel blessed by them. You drink a better ouzo as well. But the Homo Socrates, when you actually go look at that, it's more of a fucking marketplace where it started. And it's an amazing place. It's surreal. It's surreal. When you're on your own, like I first went there when it was COVID, you can feel the hairs stand up in the back of your head. It's surreal. Wow. You can feel something that's completely out of this fucking world. But that's the story, but you can feel it yourself. If you get the right time, right place.
I believe that. What he's saying, right? Even if it's not true, it's a convincing enough story that he was actually there and saw that and felt that. So man, I don't need
I could put an avatar on right now with me in Greece, just me on my own with the Pathaton. If you know what the Pathaton is, it's the Acropolis.
I also believe Mike was pouring peroxide on his foot too.
Acropolis, everyone says the Acropolis. No, Acropolis is the rock underneath. The Pathaton is on top.
Yeah. If you had one thing to see, what would be the one thing that somebody couldn't miss? If they have like half an hour to spend, what should they see?
What would they see in Greece if you've got half an hour to spend in Athens? If you've got half an hour, don't go see the Pathaton, because a long, long time ago before the Pathaton, there's a mini Pathaton that was based on, which is a throwing distance of the actual, where you see Acropolis, the Pathaton on top. And it's within a stone's throw. There's one older than that. That's 400 years older than that. And that's a base. When you look at that, you look up at the Pathaton and go, oh my God, that's the construction But this was built 400 years before. I'd say go for that.
What's that one called?
Ask any Greek taxi driver, take you to the proper Parthenon, the one 400 years before, and they will take you there. It's smaller, but you will see, when you look up at the Parthenon, you will see yourself in your own eyes. It's confusing, but it's amazing. That or the Gateway to Olympus. Gateway Olympus is surreal. That's where literally where my hair did stand up on end, was the Gateway to Olympus. It's just
does the
everything.
The other Parthenon look the same as the later Parthenon? They look.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find a picture of it. But
yeah, they have to find the old Parthenon. What the Parthenon was based on.
old
It was based
Parthenon.
400 years before the construction of the Parthenon on top of the Acropolis. Like I said, the Acropolis is a name.
So they do look. I didn't even know there were two. They do look similar.
Yeah, there's two.
So you're saying there's two of them?
Yeah, but one was built hundreds and hundreds of years before. So when you get there, and you will see why. When you look up and you see that, you realize why. And this was built many hundred years before. You look at the construction, you go, now we can see the architect did a small one, and that was the big one. It's amazing. When you get there and you actually start listening to the Greeks and not tourist guides, you will get it. You will get it. But you only get it from the Greeks, not the tourist guides. Don't listen to them. Don't see any tourism there.
You have to speak Greek. Do you speak Greek?
It all depends how much Greek I need to use. I'll use a little tiny bit, but not too much. You don't have to speak Greek. You speak perfect English. Perfect English.
Oh.
But they understand when you start looking in their history, when you start understanding their history, they like you because the fact you've done your homework. You understand their history, but you've not got to know the culture of them. The culture. The culture is beautiful. It's a beautiful culture. It's all about dancing. It's all about wine. It's all about families. The culture is amazing.
A lot of things. Did you have a lot of gay sex there?
Nah, I don't do gay, mate. I had a lot of girls, though.
Oh. I think the Greeks, didn't they invent butt sex?
I don't know. I never asked them, to be honest.
I think the caveman might have invented it.
That's one is I cannot ever say anything bad about a country, including I got stabbed in that country, to be honest, on my first time. Yeah. I
want to be surprised.
I got mugged. I got mugged by not a Greek, but a different country. That's why I said I don't like open borders anymore.
Yeah, there has to be some like
people get pissed off in their own countries when people go to their countries and they do shit and they do all bad shit and it brings that country down. And they go treat people from that country do not like it. If that's someone from the UK and I hear that someone comes from abroad, say America or anywhere, and they've been butt fucked or anything, I don't fucking like it because that's a bad stamp to me as an English boy. You know what I mean? That's like a kick up the ass. I don't like it. They aren't English. Well,
a lot of it's just respect. They do that on YouTube too. They go to other people's channels and
I always say manners maketh the man. And I always stand by that rule. And it does.
I think it separates the men from the barbarians.
It definitely separates the men from barbarians doing that. Definitely does. 1 Jeff. Ready on that one? 1%. The man from the mammals.
I guess it's always been a mystery how some men manage to acquire them and some don't.
Because some people just want to be mammals, or they want to be. Well, they look at things on YouTube. They go, they want to be an alpha. but I don't think they truly understand what an alpha is. An alpha is a complete. Well, you know what an alpha is. It's not a man that stands
Alphas,
there.
the only thing
An
I know about
al- an
alphas is they're a
alpha.
matriarchy, and I can't be any species that's a matriarchy.
No, it's an alpha.
A what? An elephant?
Alpha.
Oh, alpha.
Yeah, people, you know that people sling that around in
Well,
YouTube.
there's alphas and there's wannabe alphas, because a lot
That's
of what
it.
looks like
But
alpha
people-
is not really the alpha.
That's it. Do people
They're
truly
like
understand
betas
what an
that are
alpha?
trying really,
What
really too
truly is an alpha? What truly is an alpha? It's not a fighter. It's a guarder. It's a protector of the pack, and that pack looks after the alpha. The alpha looks after the pack. That's what an alpha is. He doesn't choose to fight. He doesn't want to fight. He's there for the pack, and the pack's there for him.
Do you
That's
consider
alpha.
yourself an alpha?
No. I don't
You seem
consider
like a
well, I don't consider myself a beta.
You're a sigma.
I consider myself.
Yeah. You probably don't have a hierarchy. You just move in and out.
I don't need one. I'm probably what you
Yeah.
call a lone wolf, as people
That's
call
the
it.
sigma, the lone wolves. That's what I am too.
I'm happy that way.
Because when betas and alphas get together, they like automatically fall into line with each other. But sigmas don't do that.
Yeah. Proud to hear that. Proud to hear that, Jeff. I'd rather walk my own path.
I mean, that's all I know. But sometimes it's a lonely path.
Well,
takes
it's
you up to the
a
wilderness
nice
by
path.
yourself.
It's a nice path because every time you walk, you put your foot in the dark, you put your foot to the shadow or a cloud of smoke or fog or whatever. You're taking your own path, not being chosen for you. You're choosing where you want to walk, not what people tell you to walk. That's the nice thing about it.
Or what you tell yourself to walk.
Exactly. That's the nice thing about it. Be yourself. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. I'm glad to hear that off you, Jen. Jeff, I'm glad to hear that, man. Choose your own path. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. Don't be an alpha. Don't be a beta. Just be yourself. Anyway, we have to shoot off, but it's good to talk to you, buddy, and catch up with you.
You too.
And thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I was nervous at first, but it turned out to be a good conversation.
Hey, thank you very much for indulging me, mate. Good conversation. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Dom. Thanks, bro. Hope you guys have a good one. Great conversation, though, Jeff. Great conversation. Well,
you too, Bakesy.
You guys take care and have a good day, buddy. Have a good day, guys.
You as well. Good to see you. All right. Well, it's just us again.
Yeah, that thing you asked earlier, and only because I've actually asked many different versions of that software. I'm wondering if they're interconnected, where the reason why I said 1 + 1 = 2, it will go into a program of an assumption that it's a math question. That is why when you say 2 and 2, it was actually able to correct itself, but that's the first one I've ever actually heard that it can correct itself.
But I had to prompt it. I had to lead it
did.
to the correction.
Yep. That's right. Because they don't pick up. They just make an assumption that the next question is a math question. I said 2 and 2 is, and the word gives it away. 2 and 2 is. If I was teaching a 5-year-old, it would learn to actually pick up each word opposed to filling in the blanks. Well, you were asking me a math question, and I never said that. I just said 1 + 1, and then that person went for themselves 2. So at that point, they're assuming. So now 2 and 2 is, literally 2 and 2 is 2 and 2, because you can assume, am I talking about multiple? No, you usually, or you ask the person back, what are you really asking then? Because you didn't.
But it assumes that because that's the pattern, the most likely pattern of all the data that was fed into it. Mm-hmm. That's mostly what people are wanting to know when they say that. So it's going off of.
Mm-hmm. And then it's
predicting what's most it's the most likely response that you want.
Assuming, and then it backtracks with another program by apologizing. And I said, listen, you're not human, so get the apologies out, and then of course they'll go on a tangent and said, well, I didn't understand you. First of all, you're a software, you don't understand things. Again, I know the difference. I'm not talking to a human being, but I'm talking in the background. There could be software guys that have programmed it. To me, that's what I'm saying. It's an elaborate calculator that knows how to speak many different languages. They're not asking, do you understand the energy behind the language? Probably not. So again,
I don't know what energy.
Well, there's the idea of questioning things, and then once you're aware of questioning things, you go inwards, you realize there's energy behind each word. It's like symbols, sigils.
Ooh.
You know, numbers. Numbers have energy behind them.
I didn't know about that. I didn't.
Most people have not. Most people have been programmed. They haven't been able to get into that teachable energy. You know, people have to use reason. That's the upper brain. They got to use their feelings. Okay, but what about the intuitive part, the insightful part? I know people say those words, but are you actually, that person usually really using that particular brain that you're receiving information from? At that point,
well, here's the problem with that. You never know when to trust it or not, because sometimes it's off.
That's why you question things. That's why you question everything. And then you become trustworthy enough to listen. Oh, so you're going to question me? Yes, I am. I don't care if it's Satan or Jesus or Muhammad. Those are just characters in my world. Most people serve the self. That's what Satan is for most people. The Satanic Bible kind of gives it away, doesn't it? I find Satanists like humanists, they're a funny bunch. Same with Christians, they're a funny bunch because they're living this external world. I said, so what's within you the whole time? That's the distraction. I'm serving the Dark Lord. I'm okay. This ought to be interesting. Are you coming from the darkness into the light? Hence the word enlightenment. Most people.
What are you, Buddhist?
No, I'm me.
Do you have a religion or spirituality?
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong character with that kind of stuff. I find all that stuff funny, but I'll play along.
Atheist?
No, I find them funny too. Might as well say I'm a
what
human.
You got to be something.
I don't have to be anything, Jeff.
How do you orient to the?
I participate.
How does somebody orient to you?
You're asking me to do the I am and then the mask. What are you? I am what? An electrician. I'm a plumber. Am I Dominic? These are just names I've given.
No, I'm just asking. Okay, do you believe there's something beyond the physical? Be. Are there other dimensions beyond the physical?
Could be. I'm going to speculate and say could be.
But there also might not be. So you're not committed to anyone.
Okay, Jeff, do you see air?
I don't see air, but you can. We have machines that.
Okay, but you can't. Okay, we were talking about this earlier about challenging the senses, or it could be easily misled. There's two objects in the sky. Have you ever heard of any human creating those things in the sky, whatever they are? Probably not. So this way, I can speculate on people using the word God, aliens, reptilians. They can use whatever word. At that point, it's just something I can entertain myself with. But I'm not going to sell a book on it. And I'm surely not going to join one of the dogmas. I'll participate in it, but I'm not going to join and say, listen, that's it. I'm going to join capital. I'm going to join state. I'm going to join religion. No, those are entertainment for me. For me. Am I full of shit? Probably, Jeff. But you've openly admit what you like to follow, and all the power to you.
No, I don't have a.
You're not a Satanist?
I'm not anymore.
Okay, anymore. Okay.
I'm kind of like you. I don't have anything.
Oh, you're having fun then?
It's not fun. I felt Satanism stabilized. It gave it something to anchor to, and without that, I'm in your situation where it could be anything or nothing or none of it.
It could be. I'm okay to entertain those ideals. You know, I get it. There's Buddhism teachings. Yeah, if you want to look at the teachings, go ahead. Same with the Hindus' teachings. Same with Christians and Muslims. Same with the Constitution and all the other states. Nice to play with. And I understand when in Rome, you have to act like the Romans. So if I'm living in Canada, there's policies here. And I don't mind participating in it. Some people say it's a social system. I said I would lean more towards it's more about corporations. But hey, I get some of it is about socialism.
But we had that stuff way before corporations.
You're probably right, Jeff. But at the same time,
culture, art.
There's an evolving or going sideways, whatever word we want to be. You know, as much people will question religion, I say question state while you're there. You might as well even question science while you're there. Hence, questioning all things. But for some people, if not a lot of people, they think if they question it, they'll have an answer. Maybe, or maybe you'll just have more questions. And of course, I'm the kind of guy, Jeff, I try not to become too attached to anything, even though I already have a lot of attachments. And I'm not really concerned about outcomes, right and wrong. I agree or disagree. It's of no interest to me.
Are you just kind of in the moment?
I try to be. It's challenging.
I know, it really is. I don't think
Sure.
we're designed to live in the moment unless we're out in the jungle and like immediate survival.
Could be. But then we would have been conditioned. Jeff, should we go back and maybe get a Starbucks coffee? Tom, what are you thinking of that for? Because I want to explore memories. Like I said, Jeff, I like to have fun in conversations. You know, if you were seeing me face to face, say, Dom, you're laughing the whole time. Sure, I am. I find this entertaining. Anybody that tells me they have answers, time out. Let me go get some popcorn because this is going to be funny. As they're trying to tell me something with the language they had to be conditioned with. Why are you speaking English? Why don't you speak Latin while you're there? What about Hebrew? What about numbers? What about colors? Those are all languages. Why don't you learn Braille or American Sign Language while you're there too? Well, Dominic, I can't do all those things. But yeah, you think you have answers. Ooh, wow, there's a clever boy in front of me. I love it.
Well, I mean, there are some answers that are possible.
There could be. There could be. Again, then my next question would be, how does it serve? Whether it serves me or you, how does it serve?
Yeah, those are good questions.
And in each moment, wouldn't anything, it might shift. Today, this served me. Tomorrow, that might not serve me. Damn, what are you talking about, Dom? 10 minutes later, that didn't serve me.
Do you have a larger goal or purpose that you use to help you figure out what to do in the moment? Like, is it trying to align with something in the future?
Then I wouldn't be in the moment.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. That's the trick, because that takes you out of the moment. The minute you try to, so how does progress happen? Because you have to be able to envision some future outcome.
The reality is, Jeff, if we're going to use you're always just in the moment, but you're being distracted with thoughts.
Yes.
And some of those thoughts could be memory, some of them could be imagination, but you're always in the moment. And if I'm going to be frank about it, you're always the observer. But
if you want a future moment to be different than the moment you're in now, you have to actively do things to make that moment happen. And that when you start doing that, you have to leave the moment and start going toward the future, going into the future to do that.
Sure, you're using your imagination at that point, but you're still there. It's like when you wake up in the morning, Jeff. Okay, you're in a conscious state. And you might, this is kind of the Russian doll ideal. You might go in a shower. No, you're still in that vessel. You might go in a car. No, you're still in that vessel. You never leave that vessel. Not when you're in a conscious state. You might be looking through your eyes, but you're still in that vessel. You're never out there. And then you use words to describe things. There's a rock. No, the rock doesn't exist there. The thing that we call an object exists there, and we have to use a word to describe it. And then I can give different names to it. Is that a rock? Is that a sequoia rock? I can use different words to explain the same thing over and over again. Dare not get into Latin or Greek or French. Next thing you know, I'm still living in that vessel. Never been outside of it. Now, when you go to sleep, maybe people can play with the idea of astral traveling if you want to entertain that. But when you're in the conscious state, when you wake up in the morning, you're right there.
Yeah.
You're never out there. But people think, but I am. I said,
you know where I am when I wake up?
Where are you at?
I am two places. I'm in what happened on YouTube yesterday. I try to remember, catch up with all the storylines from yesterday and orient myself. And then I wonder what's happening on YouTube right now as I'm waking up. Let me check. Mm-hmm. So my first thing I do when I wake up is I try to orient to the internet and place myself in the events from yesterday and what could currently be going on. So the minute I wake up, my mind is already out of the present moment because of this internet.
But if you could look at yourself from the outside and say, okay, whatever that is that's pondering yesterday or later on today, you're still encased in that vessel. And this is when people decipher and say, well, then therefore I must not be the body. There you go. You figured it out. Or therefore I must not even be the thoughts. But you're using them. I use the word like you're in life.
Do you feel like you're your thoughts or you're something else that thoughts just happen to?
I'm not the thought nor the body.
But that's weird because I do feel like I'm my thoughts. I don't feel like I'm my body so much, but I definitely feel like My
So you're
thoughts are not separate from me.
So you are the language that you use? Because you could be, Jeff. I'm speculating when I say
I
I'm
can't
not the body.
imagine what I would be without that. Like how I would know who I am without
But you had to
knowing
be
it
conditioned to learn the
through
language of
language.
English. But you had to be conditioned to learn the language. Unless you're saying it was already there. It's like the stone and then
I
you
don't
chip
know.
it
I
out.
learned it before I was conscious of learning it.
Okay, that could be. I'm with you on that. It could be.
You just pick it up from the people around you.
It could be energetically. You know, we go to school, we learn certain words and pronunciation, but yet you're in an environment, next thing you know, you're learning different languages or more languages of the same one that you learn, and you're also learning an accent. Could be.
And they tried to teach us French too very early. In Head Start, kindergarten, we had French lessons all through high school. But I don't speak French nearly as well as do English, even though that was part of our education. Because there was nobody around me really speaking it except for the old people.
Yeah, and different languages like English opposed to French, opposed to, say, Greek or Sanskrit have different energy to them. Greek is more of a comprehension language. Sanskrit is a healing language. English is a meaningful language. So when we use this language, we can have many different interpretation of one word. Where other languages, no, that's exactly what it is. But for a lot of folks, Jeff, and this is where I usually say it's the few, not the many, because the many are clearly showing what they're doing. They're learning how to drive a car, to go to work, to go to a grocery store, to go to the mall. Those are all interesting things to do, but they'll keep doing that over and over again, and I participate in all of that. I just choose to do it with awareness. Where other people, they're usually...
Is that so bad, though? That's not a bad way to live.
No, not at all. Jeff, I'm not here to say that it's right or wrong or bad or good. It just is. I'm the observer of those things. I'm not the judger of those things. A lot of people like to judge.
Seemed like you had some negative opinion of it, or that.
Well, negative for me, Jeff. Negative fuels the positive. It's a yin and yang ideal. Everything comes out of chaos. The order is the positive part. The negative part is the chaos. People imply, because remember we're using the English language, they imply that negative is something bad. It's just an energy. If I showed you...
Well, the way you were talking about it, it sounded like you thought they weren't living up to their full potential or something.
I never said that. I never said about full potential.
I'm trying to tease out the subtext of what you were saying, because
okay, so you're going to fill in the blanks?
Factually describing what they were doing, but I think you were factually describing it for some larger purpose that had to do with your feelings about or your opinion of it.
Sure, we'll go with those two things.
All they're going to do is shop at the mall and get in their car and go to work because they're learning how to do all that.
And I said I also do, and I said I said I also do that too.
But now you do it with awareness.
I'm always included. I'm just the guy that drives over my own bus. I don't need anybody actually wants to rip a hole in me. I say take a number because I've already done it many times over, and I'm still going to do it. Nobody can actually truly challenge my views unless I speak it. And the only thing that person would be doing is challenging the words. You're not in my senses, so what would you be challenging? Do you see the sun through my eyes? That's conditioning, Jeff.
No, all I would do is challenge your argument or your claim.
You would change the words. Yes, you would be challenging the words. But I never said I own them. I'll use them.
You don't own it. Nobody does.
I'll use them over and over again. I'll use different types. Again, Jeff, I'm telling a story. Whether it's real or not, it's still a story. But people will make an assumption. Well, Dom, what you're telling me then is real. I said, it could be. Question is, how does it serve you if it is or isn't? If I told somebody how to become a trillionaire, but I told them also at the same time, you don't have the ability to become a trillionaire because there's a lot of webs involved. And it would take you...
a lot of what? Webs?
Yeah, there might be a lot of webs along the way. You can call them patterns.
Like cobwebs?
It could be cobwebs, but I'm using the metaphor like there's many different arms to it. You know, whether webs, spiders, you could call it map arting. You can use many different interpretations to explain it. But if a person can at least visualize, if they're the visualizing type of person, that's why I said earlier, you were using charts. For me, I can visualize things in thoughts. Where other people, they literally have to see it written on a piece of paper. It's like some people can play musical instruments and see colors. Okay. I give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what they're doing. Who am I to tell you, well, you're not? I might ask questions. How does this serve you that you're able to see colors when you play musical instruments?
Well, how do you become a thousandaire?
1,000 year?
Do you have any tips on
A
that?
trillionaire? What you do is you condition all your citizens to chase a piece of paper. So that's where the power is, to condition people that they're going to exchange their energy for a piece of paper. Maybe the next generation will teach them to chase.
Who's conditioning? You think that's design?
We
That's
all
just
are,
how
Jeff.
people
We
acquire the
all-
resources they need to live. There's no secret puppets. Like,
Okay, Jeff, we're all participating in the conditioning, Jeff.
I guess I'm lost
Okay,
at
we'll
the
let it
word
go then.
conditioning. I'm not quite sure what you
It's
mean.
programming. Programming, would that be okay?
How?
Okay.
Who programmed? Nobody
Okay.
programmed me.
Okay. Do you watch TV? Hence why they call it a TV program or a radio program.
I do watch TV.
Okay. Some people like to be what's called the masculine energy. That's the program and energy.
Well, you lost me. I definitely know what masculine energy is, but I don't know what it has to do with TV or programming.
Well, that's the action part, where the feminine energy is the teachable. That's where we're talking about wisdom and understanding. Again, we're just using different words to explain. We're keeping it at a very polarity kind of use. It's kind of like yin and yang, but it's a cycle. It's all together. It's not separate. It's a cycle.
What were you programmed to do?
Learn a language, to eat my food, to know when to go to the bathroom.
Oh, well then, yeah, you're using the word programming very differently than I am too. Those are just, animals do, even plants have to acquire nutrients. That's just survival needs, biological necessity.
But it's still a program.
So if anything, we're programmed by our DNA, our genes.
Sure. You can go with that, Jeff. Again, Jeff, we're using an English language. So we're going to have many different interpretations. If you have a different way to explain it, I'll hear you.
So there's biological demands that we have to meet.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of life.
Us or the body? There's a separation.
We all have them.
Okay, but is it us or the body? As you're having a thought.
It's all one thing to me. It is
the
body.
Good enough.
So, but I don't call that programming. So if that's programming conditioning, then all of life, just existing, is programming.
Could be, yeah. I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah, that's how you're using it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. I just don't call it programming or conditioning.
What would you use it? I heard you say earlier about maybe DNA. Is that what you would call what I'm talking about?
Well, you were talking about stuff like chasing money, and I don't necessarily think that's genetics.
Well,
maybe the drive to acquire resources, food and stuff, is genetic, and money's the modern form of that.
Yeah, it's the medium. It's the medium. So, for example, our needs for us in these forms is food and shelter. And probably
I don't have a strong drive to acquire money at all. I wish I did.
Sorry, what's that? I was talking about food and shelter.
But before that, we were talking about money, because that's money was
It's a medium.
representing that.
It could be a medium.
Yeah.
So we exchange our energy. In this case, looking in exchange for a piece of paper. Let's just go along with that for a second. So now I can purchase some of my needs with that piece of paper. A lot of times I can just purchase my wants. I can't just go to a grocery store and say, listen, I'm an electrician. I'm not going to be doing any work for you, or I don't have a contract with you, but can I change some of your plugs in exchange for some grocery? No, Dom, we're not interested. So what is the medium here? A piece of paper. That's all that is for me. Now, whether or not I want to buy, go ahead.
It's a system where I don't have a problem with that system.
No, it's not a problem. I'm just telling you the way it is. That's what it is.
But I wouldn't call it conditioning. That's just the system that emerged.
Okay, but you had to program generations of people to eventually go towards it. That's where power comes in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Jeff. I'm just saying how it evolves to that point. So now they're going to do a digital system. Think about our generation, Jeff. Regardless what age you are, but we're in this generation.
You consider, like, when technology evolves, that's programming. Like we switch from VCRs to
yes, that's part of
programming. Now we watch things on streaming. That's programming because it's now we're on cell phones instead of computers. We're going to be on AI now, and that's all programming with technology advances.
That type of technology, yes, that type of thing. And most of that's usually angles. It's not like nature, which is all curvature. But that's, again, I'm just saying that in our generation, a lot of us adapted, not all, but a lot of us adapted to have a cell phone, have a laptop, use Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And we just start using it. And part of it, we're being programmed, conditioned, whatever word person wants to use. But then the question would be, how did I get it in my hand? Well, I saw advertising. What is advertising? It's part of conditioning. I'm just not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a thing. It's like you being
I'm still not really clear on what it is. Just advertising?
Advertising can play a role in all of that, yes. And then also your friends have one. Hey, why do you have that type of car?
Because not everybody buys every single product for every
they
ad
don't.
they see throughout the day. So it's not conditioning everybody about everything.
We're all being conditioned in different ways, Jeff. And even that's too big of a sweep when I just said all of us, because then we would have to factor in tribal people. But they're not. They're probably conditioned in a different way. But it's still.
But then why is everybody all buying different products?
Because there's different companies promoting very similar things, but in different ways. And no different why you want to buy a product with red or blue.
Right. Then I was saying, like, there's so much individual response. Where's the conditioning? We'd all be buying the one identical thing.
No, you're thinking more of a Borg mind mentality. I'm not talking about a Borg mind mentality. Individually, even to be individual, you're being programmed. You're in the game still.
To do what? Was I programmed to start a stream today, or did I just decide on my own to?
Okay.
I don't understand this. I have no idea what I would be programmed to do in my day-to-day life.
Then we'll leave it at that.
I had a job. I got my car. I drove to the job. I worked the job. Nobody was programming me to do that. I did it because I wanted to.
Okay. So you just woke up one day and you just figured out how to drive a car?
No, I learned that when I was younger.
Okay, so you're using.
But that's learning. That's education. Is not programming. Okay. Acquiring a skill is not programming. Okay, so now learning is not programming.
Okay, schooling and educate. One brings out, one puts in. So you're still learning something, but in that learning, could there be some conditioning going on?
I'm still trying to understand what you mean by conditioning. I know conditioning when you're trying to achieve a specific outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Like through stimulus and response. You're trying to condition a response based on how you manipulate the stimulus.
Those are valid statements.
So what response are they trying to get, and what stimulus
not them. You're doing it to yourself a lot of times.
Achieve it.
You're doing it to yourself.
Well,
so
how do you know what that puts you inside other people's head at that point?
No, I'm talking about, I know me, Jeff. I know me. So knowing me,
that's why I was trying to ask how you were programmed.
But do you know you?
Yeah, and I'm not aware of any response that's being conditioned with the stimulus.
Okay, so you're saying that I use the word conditioning. Okay, you're saying you put in another word, learning. So and I said, okay, so how did you learn how to drive a car? Now you say you were taught. Okay, so is the rest of your body learning, or is it being conditioned to know how to push the pedal, how to move your hand?
Well, do you mean just getting out of bed and moving around is conditioning? Because
that could be it too, Jeff.
You're losing me in this conversation.
I'm not losing
I can imagine a situation on YouTube where if you get enough super chats, you might your behavior might start being conditioned a certain way. Your response, if you get enough money to start kicking people off, mm-hmm. your response to having people on the panel might start to shift toward being more likely to kick them off because you have this stimulus of money coming in. So I've seen things like that happen where super chats can change the behavior of a panel host. That doesn't happen to me very often because it's very rare that super chats affect what I do if it's not explicit.
So how does behavior?
So I don't think I've been conditioned over time by super chat, but that is something I could maybe call conditioning.
Okay, cool.
Where there's a consistent stimulus, and then the response changes to either keep the stimulus going or avoid the stimulus, depending on if it's positive or negative.
Yeah, go with that, Jeff. Jeff, we're just sharing with each other. If there's words that you can use that can relate? Because I'm not asking you to
even
jump on
viewers and numbers. Like if I wanted to be conditioned by my numbers, I would have a bunch of drama on the channel all day long. I would invite all the drama people, and I would talk about fights and and my numbers would go up. I'd probably get more super chats, and that would be the environment, the drama people, their needs, that market conditioning what I do on this YouTube channel, my response. But that hasn't happened. It happened for a little while.
Well, I hope the way I'm presenting myself is not coming across as drama, because I'm not really. I don't mind.
That's an example of what, like, I can see it. I associate conditioning with stimulus response. So when you say people are being conditioned to get in their cars and go to work every morning, what is the stimulus that another human is on the other side of manipulating, which it will require to be conditioning, that is causing them to get in their car and go to work? Nothing that I can see or think of. Wanting to feed a family is an incentive. It's not a conditioned response.
Okay, so you're using the word incentive then. So that's how you interpret it.
Yeah, but that's completely different than
that's fine. Jeff, I'm not here to crack eggs with you.
Well, you know, that's what we do on this channel. And a lot of people come up on here and I start interrogating and then they get testy. And
I'm not. I'm just hearing you say certain things.
Like might be because I get pushback when I start digging into people's claims and stuff. And that's normal here. So you're in the wrong place if you have a problem with that.
Hold on. I'm wrong person to talk about that kind of stuff, Jeff. I find that entertaining when you say that. So at this point, you're probably asking for clarity, but the clarity should come from within you first. Because I've already told you, English is a meaningful language.
No, it just seems like you're showing impatient with my questioning.
No, I'm not.
This is the wrong channel to do that on, because the assumption when people hop on panel here is that they're okay with that kind of.
Jeff, we started from asking your computer, that AI, about a math question, and I used the word assumption. That's where I would have went. For you, you're playing a different game with it, which is fine. This is where a lot of times we go in different directions.
The only game I'm playing is trying to understand through dialogue, if you want to call that a game.
Well, I just call it wordsmith. That's what I'm using right now, Jeff. But I'm not trying to tell you that my version, I just use the word program. And I'm even willing to say conditioning. You want to throw in a different interpretation? Please share.
I did. And you got irritated.
No, I didn't. Like. No, Jeff, at that point, you're projecting. You just
I'd have to go back and rewind this.
Yeah, please enjoy it.
But if all you mean is incentive, then I can go with that. That's just not conditioning.
But you said it, and I said, okay, go with that. I never said the words. You did. There's a lot of things you said, and I said, yeah, go with that.
Or are you communicating to be understood? Like, do you want me to understand?
Jeff, that concept of the word understand gives it away. You're never going to understand me. If you ever think you're going to understand me, you're
then why are you
I'm just sharing with you. I'm not wasting.
If you know ahead of time no one's ever going to understand you, why do you pretend to want to talk?
I'm not pretending. I'm sharing with you. If you want to assume,
do you care if the person you're sharing with is understanding what you're sharing? Do
Jeff,
you care
Jeff, I already told you, Jeff, and hear me clearly, please. You will never see it through my senses.
That's not what I asked you. I just asked if you cared if you were intelligible or not. That's usually a basic motive for human communication.
No, that's your motive, and you might have read books on it. I'm telling you my version of it.
Most people, when they communicate,
that's nice, Jeff, but you're not talking, Jeff.
That they would like to have that communication.
You're not talking to most people right now, Jeff. You're talking to me. If you want to be in the moment,
I'm asking you questions. You're not answering. You're talking over me. You're being patronizing. You're condescending. You're getting on my nerves. If we don't get this back on track, I'm going to end this. This is not a pleasant dialogue.
Jeff, I have no problem in backing it up and being silent for a bit.
I mean, you can be whatever you want. I don't mind strong emotion and this kind of stuff. I'm just pointing it out that it's happening. And it's very different than the conversation we were having. So I'm just trying to orient my own self to figure out why we're even having this conversation. Because I thought it was to understand each other's perspective better. But if that's not even what you're trying to do, then no wonder I'm confused.
Could be. I do share, but I don't share for people to understand me. If you grasp whatever I'm saying, well done, because we're using a common language.
Well, then we're completely different because I shared desperately trying to be understood. Hey, fatty.
Hey,
What's
hey,
up?
you have.
Stop
Hey, Red
telling
Bull.
Dom how to feel and what to do.
I
Red
told
Bull.
him he can feel however he wants. I'm not concerned about the feeling. I'm
He's
trying
teasing.
to like
Jeff, he's
get to understand
teasing.
the
You
logic.
know, brother.
in what we're doing.
You know.
No
Think
problem.
of it like this. I think of programming as like the subliminal shit that we were taught when we were younger. Like especially for me, like being raised Catholic, right? And still being able to recite those verses that I really haven't said like every Sunday for however long, you know, or every day or whatever. Like, but to me, it's more like when I was in high school, I told myself I'm going to smoke pot every day, and I told myself that probably 10 times a day to justify my actions, right? Because I was smoking pot all the time. And I was like, every time I smoked, I would be like, I'm fucking going to do this all my whole life. That's the programming. That's the subliminal shit that we feed ourselves.
That was just you reinforcing to yourself something that you already enjoy doing.
Sure. But then later in life, when, you know, it's like not really a fucking big deal, that's where the cravings come from. That's where the routine comes from. That's where the unwilling, the habit, the desire, the habit. Yeah. Great fucking word, you know, just the consistency, you know? So like, it's like, we are not responsible for the programming we receive as children, but as adults, we are responsible to understand it, to recognize it, to accept it for what it was, and to change what needs to be. And that's kind of a self-help thing. It's a PEMS thing, really. Like realizing that being forced to go to Catholic church was part of the programming. Good or bad. It's not good or bad. It's just is what it is. You know, so it's not like a big fucking thing. It's just like it is what it is. You know, and the more we can recognize the patterns, it's just the patterns, right? Yeah, I mean that's what else is it?
Like school
I would
and
say
church.
grooming. I would say grooming. Like grooming as a word means like that we're.
How did you want to grow up as a child? Like never having to go anywhere and just getting to play all day and not do anything?
Somewhat. I mean.
Oh, okay. Well,
I wanted, you know, discipline, but
that's a very different world that you were born into.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, there was always rebellious, you know, points in time, especially like, you know, adolescence, preteen compared to teenager, compared to late teens. You know, that's all different kind of situational. You know, it's all situational. Is all it is. Is that, you know, whether or not I was raised in the bayou or in the mountains. You know, there's similar things that we both experienced as younger men and teenagers and as adolescents.
Especially generational. I think there's more that we have in common as Gen Xers than regional differences.
Sure. I mean, just the fact that our parents were, you know, boomers and installed certain things in certain ways, however they may be. That's the programming. That's the hidden shit that we're talking about when we say programming. I like to use.
I associate programming with another person on the other end, like doing the programming. What you're describing is just acculturation. It happens.
Which there is that. I mean, they're literally like there's think tanks out there that like shop these ideas around before they put them out in the public sphere.
But nobody forces you to adopt one idea over another.
Right. That's where free will and free thought comes in.
Because people came out of high school all thinking many different things. So none of us walked out of there all thinking the same thing, like in the Pink Floyd video.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So like, when people think about programming, I don't recognize that world at all. Like nobody's walking around all with the same thought in their head.
But no matter what the program
people that
is,
are doing the programming are just really bad at it.
Yeah, or we're just really bad at recognizing it because each brick is programmed a different way, but each brick is still a piece of the wall.
Then that's not programming anymore. If you're going to program each individual human to be different, then that's nobody has the energy and resources program each
the
individual
difference
person.
maybe is the program, right? That the
What if individuality can replace all of that? We all are different. We take in the world differently. We process it differently. There's no human doing that for us.
right, and the powers that would be, right,
Why don't you take
would use that
responsibility for
knowledge
your own
against us.
reputation?
Well, tribalism, for instance, like giving us the ability to choose a team and then putting it out into the ecosphere that we must choose a team is
What
is
team
part
are
of
you
the
talking
program.
about? Nobody's making you choose a team. You talking about voting?
Just
There's only like a
humanity-
third of
humanity in
Americans.
general.
It's not even the majority of Americans. So that's some really bad programming when you can't even program the majority of your population to do what you want them to do.
But maybe it's all of society. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a society-wide issue, right?
Or maybe it's all in your imagination and nobody's being programmed.
Maybe.
What are they being programmed to do? Because everybody's all doing different things. So how do you
Like,
know what the program is and what's
like
just
the term-
random people?
Like the term worldview, right? It's making its way back into society now. I never heard the term worldview when I was growing up. Did you guys at all ever hear your parents talking about worldviews?
Not our
Or the
parents,
news?
but I mean all the
Like the news or the
philosophy
national news or the local news or anybody like in random passing within any of the sitcoms ever did I hear the term worldview?
Where are you hearing it now?
I'm hearing it on CNN. I'm hearing it on these fucking news debate team things and news panels and news clips and randomly in random
they say?
conversation within comedy shows on TV and shit, whatever. So like that term alone is a program.
You lost me.
I know it's a fucking, it's just a concept is all it is, right? When you put that
everything is like language is.
Yeah, that's,
and nobody created language. It emerged
language is
over
program,
centuries.
Language is part of the program. It's the most important part.
Who's
really. That's how we
programming us? A program takes a programmer. If it happens organically or emergently, it is not programming.
Maybe it was
the thing that
designed
makes
to happen
programming
organically,
is a human operator.
but it's you're.
I'm right as always.
You're in your view you are. That's totally fine. No, I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong or right.
Like dictionary view.
I'm not, and I don't think Dom was trying to say anybody's right or wrong. It's just a matter of understanding things in a different way and looking at things from a different perspective.
But he said he wasn't even up here to do that. So if
he didn't say that though. He didn't say that though. He didn't say that at all. That's the way you took it.
He was playing games. He was playing games.
No,
because I know what a straightforward dialogue looks like, and I know what games look like.
Look, there's no fucking way that I would ever assume to be able to understand Dom 90% of the time, because he's thinking on a different level, like I make right now too, right?
I make a good faith effort with everybody.
Yes, and I think you do. I think you honestly do, right? But at the same time, you got to admit you get kind of stubborn sometimes and just choose not to, just like I do, just like everybody else does.
I don't know when. I don't know. When do I choose not to? Certainly not tonight. I've been over backwards trying to understand what the hell he was talking about. At no time did I choose not to understand. I was the one pushing to understand more, and he was the one resisting. And so don't flip it around like I was the reason that clarity didn't happen and not him. Don't come up here and try that move.
I'm not flipping or constant. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not trying to be nefarious, and bro, I'm not. Okay, it's just a way of.
It sounded like you were saying there are times when I deliberately don't understand something, and that this was one of them. And I was the person.
No, that you deliberately
understanding and on purpose.
We all do it, Jeff. We don't recognize it. Okay, we all do this.
It can't be on purpose.
We choose not to accept things, right? And we take things differently than they're offered.
Okay, what did I choose not to accept? What are you talking about specifically?
Fucking Christ. You want to rerun some tape? I don't know. Just situational. It's situational, Jeff, is all it is. That's all I'm saying. I came in to try to just calm shit down and give some comic relief. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Because that's all this programming shit is. right? Is just recognizing that there's different ways that people get influenced. Doesn't have to be somebody behind a
that is
micrometer.
not the definition of programming. Programming is not recognizing different ways people get influenced.
Sure.
You are using
use a different word.
definition of programming that
Right.
nobody else uses unless
So
it's
use-
changed.
So use a different word then. That's all it comes down
Well,
to.
I did, and that's when you started. Like,
That's I'm just trying to
that's
say.
why I'm wondering if we're all going to just use different words. What is the purpose of trying to communicate? Are we trying to understand what the other person is saying? Or are we just up here monologuing and just use whatever words you want because none of it matters anyway? We're just talking.
I think most of the time people are just trying to
tell stories.
For the most part, I think people are just trying to justify and rationalize their own thoughts and feelings of how they want to express, how they want to think about things. Everybody has a different perspective, right? Everybody uses different words for different reasons.
What I try to do, because I'm such a curious person, is I try to understand what that perspective is.
Right. And then when you can't expect,
I try to make it intelligible to myself.
Right. But I mean, even tonight, you said a few times when you don't understand it, it's like, well, I don't understand it that way, you know? So there's frustration from the giver and the receiver both that.
But there doesn't need, if it's a true dialogue, there doesn't need to be. That dialogue, that's what dialogue is for. It's ways to talk through and correct for that.
Right.
Without having these breakdowns. When the dialogue stops and the games start, that's where the breakdowns happen.
Well, see, where's the assumption that there's a game starting though? Like,
because you saw what happened to the conversation.
Well, right, because something was taken differently than it was offered. 90% of all conversations.
No, we couldn't even clarify if we were having a dialogue. That's how bad. That's how much it broke down that we weren't even sure if it was even a dialogue anymore. That's a pretty significant breakdown.
Right. Look at it.
And he said, "Well, I'm just sharing. You can take it how you want." And I'm like, "Well, I thought you were you wanted to be understood, and I was trying to understand. I didn't know you were just sharing, and then I was free to take it however I want." That's not a dialogue.
You're going to take it however you want to, though, is the thing.
No, I'm going to take it how it's intended. That's why I ask questions to try to understand the perspective was coming from. And
so if jokingly right now,
you watch me enough to know what I do. This is not a mystery. Like, you're playing games now. You know what I do here.
Just listen. If jokingly I said right now to you, I said, calm down, Jeff. Or if I said, calm down, bro. Okay, you're going to take those two things different ways. That's all I'm saying is we receive things way differently than they're offered. We always do. Okay, that's why misunderstandings happen. That's why most misunderstandings ever happen, right? It's because somebody says something like, I'm just offering up some information. You take it however you want to. And we hear that in a different way than it's offered. That's all I'm saying. It's not a disrespectful thing. It's not trying to poke each other in the eye. It's just life, dude. It's just conversation, right? But being able to pull ourselves back from that and look at the conversation from the outside, look at the dynamics, how they work.
I was the one doing that.
You do, yeah.
And so, everything you said, but
I think we all do.
Let me finish. In the context of a dialogue, when that stuff happens, the dialogical format itself has a means of recovering and continuing with the conversation.
Yeah.
So if all of that happens and you're having a true dialogue, the dialogical process itself will take care of that.
Yeah, there's two ways.
So I'm not concerned about any of that, and I don't avoid it, because if it's a dialogue, it can contain that.
Yes. So we either agree to disagree, or
I don't think we were having a dialogue.
It's it's not like especially with conversation compared to debate, and in general, I think we're all programmed in a way right now. Not by a certain person pushing a button and saying you're going to be programmed to be in debate mode.
That's what programming is. If you're not talking about that, you're talking about something else.
When we're talking about a person programming a computer or programming a system or programming something, yes, but programming in general can mean a lot more than just that.
It can be, but the more you stretch it, then you have to be clear about what you're talking about. Otherwise, people are going to default to the common understanding, which is the one I described.
Right. And I mean,
So if you're using it figuratively, then you have to get the person to understand
and
that
situationally.
use of it.
Yeah. And figuratively, definitely figuratively, because everything's individual. Everything's, you know.
So this is a perfect example. If you're trying to make some claim about programming and you want me to understand what that means, what programming means, then you have to explain it to me. But if you say, well, just use whatever word you want, it doesn't matter, bro, then that we're no
Right.
longer in the trying to understand mode. We're doing something else. We're just monologuing.
Unless
you could call it whatever you want, I could call it whatever I want, but we don't really know what we're talking about because we're not trying to figure out the actual thing we're talking about so we could have a mutual understanding of it.
Because we're all stubborn and we just want to stick in our
It's not, I'm not stubborn if I'm having an authentic good faith dialogue. I know how to do those just fine, where we have this reciprocal exchange of information with the goal of common understanding.
Yeah.
In fact, I know how to do that so well that I know when it's not happening. And that's when my little sensors go off. And I'm like, this is not a dialogue. So this is something else.
Yeah. Calm down. See? It's all situational is all it is. That's all. I think that's all Dom was trying to say, is that
I don't know. I have no idea.
We're each programmed in our own different way. We just don't.
Something about people get in their cars and go to work.
Yeah.
Because is that what they're programming us to do? Like, so there's somebody with a little remote control. Oh, let me make this lady get out of bed and walk her to her car and make her get in her car so she goes to work.
You're like, I'm not trying to criticize. Okay. I'm just making an observation of how I see you're trying to, always have to have somebody, creating or forcing somebody. There has to be forced. There's no force in the programming. It's just, it's put out there. Right. Like growing up growing up with society telling us all the time, right, that there's this thing in society that tells us
I grew up.
College, we have to get a job. We have to work 9 to 5.
I told you that. I grew up in a world with even less information sources that there were today, and there was still not one single unified message. There were all kinds of people telling me all kinds of things. There was not like one person programming me with this one message.
So
I have no idea what
messages are a program. All those different messages are there.
Yes, but I got hundreds of messages from hundreds of different people.
Yeah.
That's not programming.
It's what you accept into your life is the programming.
Then take responsibility for what you accept, but that's not programming. You accepting or rejecting what the claims people tell you is not programming. If somebody tells you this and another person tells you that, and somebody else says, no, don't go to college, go to trade school, and somebody else says, no, just get a job. I have a friend that can get you on at the plant. Do that instead. That's not programming. And then if you pick one of those and say, okay, I'm going to do the college route. I've thought about it. It's the best. That's not programming.
Okay.
So
to you, it's not.
That was my experience growing up. There were multiple messages from many different sources. And like I said, that was in a time where there were even less vectors for the messages to travel through than there are today, where there's like 1,000 different sources.
Yeah. And each person takes different messages and takes different.
To me, the programming, right? That's not programming. If you have 1,000 messages and everybody's taking them in different ways, that's not programming. Or it's really, really sloppy programming.
So okay, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that right there at all.
I mean, I wish there was programming because I would program about 100 people to come to this channel every day and watch it, and tell all their friends, and like and subscribe, and send super chats, and join the membership.
Sub up, bitches.
So when you figure out how to do that, you will have convinced me of programming. So what's new with you?
Just fucking around. Remember the PMRC, the crazy ladies?
Yes. Oh my
right?
God. Typical.
Right.
That's
So-
when I first got politically active.
So they were fighting against programming.
They were fighting against curse words and me because of Prince, Purple Rain,
And Twisted Sister and
yeah,
devil
all those.
music and
But
playing.
it started when her
backwards
daughter
and-
got a hold of the Purple Rain album, and the mom heard some of the lyrics, and she freaked out.
Because those lyrics were going to program her child to think something that she didn't think was correct.
How do lyrics program you? How do they guarantee a specific outcome?
There's no guaranteed with programming.
Then that's not programming.
So programs never fail, right? Propaganda. I've told you.
Program is
propaganda-
designed to achieve a specific purpose.
Yeah.
If you're going to put lyrics,
okay.
you think, what was
So
Prince's intention of putting?
I'm going to
lyrics
just tell you
in?
right there, Jeff,
What was
you're
he
wrong.
trying to get her daughter to do?
I'm going to tell you you're wrong about your interpretation of programming. Respectfully.
I'm going to tell you you're
respectfully.
wrong.
Okay.
Fortunately, we got Charlie to.
Because
What was Prince trying to get her daughter to do? Because you said that the PMRC started because she heard these lyrics and she was concerned they were going to program her daughter to do something. What? To do what?
I don't know what the specific lyric was. But in general, the programming would be to act differently than the mother wanted the daughter to act.
Well, how does Prince know how she wanted the daughter to act in the first place? So he could start programming the difference.
Maybe Prince didn't give a fuck, right? Maybe,
well, it's not program. If it's Prince's lyrics,
right,
that started it, and Prince himself did not put the lyrics there intentionally to get her daughter to do something, then it's not fucking programming.
So if I pick something up and ingest it over and over and over again, that's me programming myself, right?
Well, then she needs to start organization for her own daughter, not for the musicians. Because if people are listening to Prince or hip hop or whatever, and they're coming away with thoughts or beliefs that they're putting into their own self as a result, that's not programming. Because plenty of people listen to that music and don't walk away with that.
Sure. But like I said,
I listened to all kind of violent shit growing up. I didn't want to walk around and kill people because of the music I listened to.
Right.
Nor do I think the artists were doing it to program me to do that.
Maybe the music industry, okay, here's an argument that's being made right now today, right? That the rap, the hardcore gangster rap that was pushed by the white executives, right, into the black communities to keep the black communities programmed to be violent.
All right, Fatty.
It's being made. It's not my argument. I mean, I can see how that could possibly work.
Why?
I don't think it's
why would they want a violent black population?
To keep the murder rates up?
Why would the white record executives want a bunch of violent black people?
So they destroy their own communities, right? So they don't, gain any stature in society. It's a way of keeping the black man down, Jeff.
What incentive would these white executives have to do that? Oh, here's our chance. We're in the record business. Here's our chance to destroy a black community.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Do you have any evidence that this is what they were thinking?
Does anybody have any evidence of anything?
So it's just this made up story. Like, this is just a made up story.
That's how programming.
They're probably going to their job every day, trying to acquire artists and get the contracts. And Fatty's out there thinking they're doing it because they see an opportunity to keep down the black community. Here, let's put this rap in there.
It's not my
they
theory.
destroy themselves. Otherwise, they might live peacefully and never commit crime.
It's not my theory, bro, but I can see how it could happen. It's just a matter of perspective. That's all programming shit is.
It's really one of my favorite places.
I mean,
you can't find comedy like this.
Yeah, no, it's golden shit. It's fucking straight golden. But yeah, fuck, pretty warm over there, ain't it?
It was yesterday. It was nice.
Yeah.
How is it up there?
fuck, goddamn high 40s, mid
Ooh,
50s.
look.
And we lost fucking 4 feet of snow in the
You
past
won
week.
something.
Uh-oh, hang on a second. Back on my screen here.
You being studied.
What was that? I barely saw that. I've got my shit open here. Covert social stress experiment.
Far out, man.
Ongoing critical study. Nice. You know, as far as it goes, we're all being surveilled fucking 24/7 anymore. So
Yeah, but we got the AI too.
yeah,
It's clocking all of us.
They got the AI working against us. It's exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if it's working. What's it doing to you? It's not doing anything to me. In fact, it just wrote me a business plan.
Nice.
So
Kick ass.
we'll see if it works. Maybe it's secretly trying to sabotage me, but
Yeah.
doesn't look like it. Said by 2028 I could get up to over $800,000.
Oh,
So if you know any investors that want in, this is a good opportunity.
what's the find a need, fill a need?
I don't know. Let me ask it. It's 15 pages.
No, it's not. No, it's pretty decent. It's about right. It's probably actually perfect because
Okay, wait. What is the
find a need, fill a need.
find it? It's thinking very deeply. He says that's the bumper sticker version of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Find a real problem people actually have.
Yep.
And build or provide something that solves it.
Yep.
Humans love making basic ideas sound like ancient wisdom.
Yep. Recreate the wheel.
Well, it's not telling me what mine is, though.
What's the need that you're filling with your business?
That's what I was trying to get it to tell me.
Yeah.
You got to find people's pain. Okay, here's a lot of people, especially men and neurodivergent outliers, are socially isolated. They're low trust, and they're kind of feral in the online but alone way. And they're sick of performative therapy speak and safe spaces that feel fake. They're trapped in drama ecosystems where dominance games replace actual connection. And they're trying to think clearly and function better, but they don't have a consistent place, culture, or group that reinforces that. In short, they need a real third space with sane norms, not another content feed or moral tribunal. So that's the find.
That's a pretty fucking dope mission statement right there. That's tell it to turn that section of writing into a mission statement.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's right on the money.
It says, I provide a place that models healthier norms in public, how to disagree, stay grounded, repair, hold boundaries, give people frameworks that turn confusion into agency, like the maps, the mythic universes, the charts, all that stuff, the tiers. Offer belonging without submission. We're not a cult, not a clique, not a dog pile. We're not a mob. And we make growth feel realistic and human. Gen X pragmatism, humor, bluntness, not inspirational poster sludge. In short, you're building a third space, media plus community where outliers can get clarity, practice better social reality, and feel less alone without joining a manipulation circus. Okay, it gives me the one-liner. You help isolated, neurodivergent, and disillusioned men rebuild agency and connection through a consistent, creator-led third space with strong norms and practical mental models. Wow.
That's a lot of deep words right there, bro. That's fucking
so you're
dope.
saying the first part, the find part, I should do a...
I mean, really, I wouldn't change anything about that, but the very first part, the first part about how men are in different situations, whatever, however it started.
How they don't act right. They're like
Yeah.
feral and uncivilized.
Right.
And
How can we apply those to ourselves? I can see all of those terms applying to me.
Yeah.
That, you know,
You've done pretty well, actually, even on your own. You're kind of stable. You have a career. Okay, it says the outliers in exile or club exile exist to give isolated, neurodivergent, and disillusioned people a real space where honest conversation, strong norms, and practical mental models help them rebuild agency, connection, and the ability to function in the better world, or function better in the world. So the mission is this space and what the space provides.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm always fighting to keep those norms. I get a lot of pressure to change them.
And not get sucked into the typical norms of the YouTube fucking world or whatever.
Everyone's gonna try to pull your channel in the direction they want to go.
In a way of saying it, like those norms that are out there, like that's the programming. That's the things that people have been programmed with, whether it's a diabolical situation where somebody's trying to plant something into somebody's head or not. It's just situational programming. It's just,
well, I'm trying to program some norms here, but I'm trying to do it consciously, collaboratively. I'm very open about what the norms are, and I want people to consciously help reinforce them and participate in them, because that's what it's. If they're not norms for everybody else, and they're just norms for me, then they're not going to be norms. Other people have to start adopting them and working off of them.
Yeah.
This is not copyright, is it?
No, it's brand new. It's a fucking great one. If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. You know what I'm saying, sir? You know what I'm saying, sir? Of course you
Thank God. Drowning in the deep end.
Let's sink or swim. Somebody, anybody, hold me a life ring.
Patty, you wrote this?
If it ain't broke, ain't broke, ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, ain't broke, ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh my God.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stop trying to change the game.
Just play it. Concrete jungle, fumble, stay humble. Beneath the rubble, hear the struggle, feel the rumble. Walk the tightrope, never lose hope. Flip the script, don't trip, let it slip and tiptoe.
This is good.
Ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm down on my knees. Don't beg me, please don't say you know. Chained to the rhythm, life as a prism. Crack the code, light the load. Don't waste, taste the wisdom.
If it ain't broke,
ain't broke, don't fix it.
if it ain't broke,
Ain't broke, don't fix it.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stop trying, stop trying.
Change the game.
Just play, just play. Manufacture disaster, moving faster. Cast the plaster, mold the master. Avoid the master blaster.
Ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm down on my knees. Don't beg me, please. Don't praise me.
Twist the fade, lift the weight, find the gate.
If it ain't broke,
Create, relate, situate your own state.
don't fucking fix it.
Somebody, anybody, throw me a life ring. Life's a gamble, take a chance in advance. Enhance, demand a second glance.
We don't need to change it. Yeah. We just need to play it. If it ain't broke,
Don't fucking pretend.
don't fucking pretend.
Don't fucking pretend.
Don't fucking pretend.
Life's a stage and I'm here to put on a show. Dig the vibe, strive, thrive, and feel alive.
Ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, fake it to make it. Snap back from the setback.
Payback.
Real track, feel that it's the return of the hijack. We don't need to change it. I just need need to play it. Don't pretend.
Oh, hey,
We
B.
rise, this sky surmise beneath the sky.
Take it to make it.
Switching lanes,
Break chains,
rewrite
break
the
the
road.
front.
Don't go, don't go, don't fucking fix it. Don't fucking fix it.
Don't fucking fix it. Don't fucking fix it. Make it to make it. We don't need to change it. I just need to play it. Don't pretend to know. What the fuck? Survive to strive, vibe to stay alive.
What happened to your StreamYard?
What the fuck am I doing? Yeah.
Let me drop
Drowning in.
Oh my God, that was so good. As always. Let me grab my coffee.
Love.
All right. Oh, so that means you can only do it a certain amount. Can you get raised donations? Will somebody fund Fish's StreamYard shifts? We have one of our penny pinching sisters in need.
Drop that link there in the main chat if you would for that song. It's a public song.
Oh, this is the specific song. All right, here's the link to the song.
Yeah, that one's open for.
Oh wait,
for
it here we go.
These metal ones turned out pretty fucking dope too. Hip hop ones turned
Here
out.
y'all
pretty,
go.
yes.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, then break it. And then you'll have an excuse to fix it.
This one turned out fucking.
It must be broken. It must not bear having been broken. It must appear to have been mended. That's the dialectic of American poetry.
Yeah,
So what's going on in your life? Anything new?
got to hold all three of the grandbabies yesterday.
Oh,
It's pretty badass.
what does being a grandpa feel like?
Man, a little overwhelmed. Definitely a lot of gratitude and a lot of anxiety, you know. Anxiety is fucking fear of the uncontrolled future, an uncontrollable future, and not knowing what the fuck's coming up in the world and like what the fuck's going on is definitely kind of
But that's like
fucked up.
I've always lived that way. The world's always been like that. I guess I'm not a naturally anxious person.
I mean, it's fucking badass, dude. Like,
Keeping cheese out the taint. Oh, hey,
Well, like-
head.
yeah, of course. Here's where's this other one at? Yeah, here's another one for you.
Another non-copyrighted.
Life is what you make it.
Did you write it? The lyrics?
Yeah.
Fatty. You hesitated. I'm nervous. I'm Googling it. Is it from Talk Talk? I remember that song from the 80s. The lyrics better not be baby, life's what you make it. Can't escape it, baby. Yesterday's favorite. Don't you hate it? You don't mute.
Yeah, shit. Sorry. No, it's definitely not that. No, this is yeah. Life is what you make it. Life is what you make.
Oh, I'm supposed to share it. Okay, hang on.
Fucking good one.
Damn, look at that prompt. Dang.
That's just the texture. Yeah.
I feel like Dead Can Dance. I've been trying to get it to do that. How did you prompt that? Like medieval chant?
Very carefully.
Stop waiting for the wind to blow, little shit.
It's be up to you to fly under the
A transmission came up from a dying planet. A choir of lost souls on the course.
We'll through out with her warning phrases. Smooth delivery.
Think you know how good this is. This is exactly the kind of stuff I would listen to growing up.
You haven't yet been taught. Raised by the food, the way to demand, by the echo, prove it, but go it, and nobody planned. Conference came on, stop asking why, and started deciding we're living when we try. Product of motion, not a moment from resolve. Every problem I met got involved. In the walls and the way, me no beg when I start, I study the structure and the trigger the fall.
Me trigger the fall. Trigger the fall.
Me trigger the fall.
What is she saying?
Life is what you make, never hesitate. Never give up, never sit away. Finish what you start, let it dominate. Always keep learning. Life is what you make, never hesitate. Never give up, never sit away. Finish what you start, let it dominate. Always keep learning. Always keep learning. You remember the silence before it collapsed. Concrete belief getting cracked in the past. Not just a wall, it was thought segregation. Mental division disguised as a nation. I'm seeing thing internal, I'm seeing it firsthand. Limits inherited, pass on the hand. Till someone said, watch me, I meant every word. And the impossible starting absurd. Me knowing here in the future, me out of the blood. Every moment me choosing me, carving the slot. Me not chasing the dream, me aligning the lens of perception. Adjust the environment lens. Metabolism fully converted to fuel. Me to lose, me to study the rule. Always learning, obsessive, aggressive with growth. If me to know today, me expose it tomorrow. With both. Life is what you make, never hesitate. Never give up, never sit and wait. Finish what you start, let it dominate. Always keep learning, on and learning. Life is what you make, never hesitate. Never give up, never sit and wait. Finish what you start, let it dominate. Always keep learning, on and learning. Stuck in awareness, expanding the frame. Talk to chaos, it answer the same. Says you're in talk, you're pretending you are. Every ceiling you hit is a self-made star. Sharp from a syntax, attack with intent. Every sentence I rep, every bar is a lift. Me no wait for believe me, move first, then it's take confidence built from 1,000 commits. When the shoes start at the phone, like a phrase me no wait. Halfway me escalate. Never keep up and vocals and wars debate. Got the hours of height, I won't. Others keep better, we have a picture. Miss let them be business, this and repeat. Better me, mother, be water, be rotten, be nine. Me not keep it fidget, niggas, I resign.
Is this what get music video?
I'll be coming something up is any bird. Get me with all love, pain, can't expose on your dirt. Better change it all with shit. You were right, how they work. Same place, story, reality way. Always keep burning it, ain't no deep.
Life is what you make. Never give up.
Never test away.
Finish what you start. Always keep playing. Life is what you make. Maybe for I want to be. Oh, what gets one them. You check is what you say.
Yeah. Uncle Fatty back in the lab. Stop waiting for the wine to blow like a sheep. Feel about life now, you're nothing but a clay.
That sound like copyright.
Yeah, brother. Pick it up. Stop waiting for the wine to blow like a sheep. Feel about life now, you're nothing but the clay. It's be up to you to fire the kill. Pick it. Yeah, brother. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. You wired off inside. My mind never idle. Spiral through cycles, survival recital. I'ma talk to myself like a monk with a mic. Breaking down mean in the wrong and the right. No wait for no signal, mobility antenna. Every dope that my head, every's mental and inner. Life isn't solid, it's render by thought. Where your fear is a lesson you haven't been taught. I was raised by the pressure, the weight, the demand, by the echo of prove it. Nobody playing, confidence came when it stopped asking why. I started deciding who lives, who the living when I try. Product of motion, momentum, resolve. Every problem I met got involved, got solved. If the walls in my
feel like I'm hanging up.
middle storm, I studied these structuring. Trigger the fall. Never give up, never sit and wait. Finish what you start, let it dominate. Always keep learning it, celebrate, accelerate. Life is what you make. Shape the pace, brick by brick till there's no more space. Never give up, never break your frame. Life is what you make. Me remember the silence before it collapsed. Concrete beliefs getting cracked in the past. Not just a wall, it was thought segregation. Mental division disguised as a nation. Same thing in turn, I'm seen it firsthand. Limits inherited passed hand to hand. So someone said, watch me, I meant every word and the impossible. This is sounding absurd, me knowing every me future, me out of the block. Every moment me choosing, me carving this lot. Not just the dream, be aligning the lens. When perception adjusts, the alignment bends. Metabolize failure, converted to fuel. Me don't lose, me just study the rule. Always learning, obsessive, aggressive with growth. Me no know today, me expose it tomorrow with both. Life is what you make, never hesitate, never give up, never sit and wait. Finish what you start, let it dominate. Always keep burning on a learning. Life is what you make. Shape the pace, brick by brick till there's no more space. Never give up, never break your frame. Life is what you make. Stacking awareness, expanding the frame. Talking to chaos, it answers the same. You're not trapped, you're pretending you are. Every ceiling you hit is a self-made scar. Sharper syntax, attack with intent. Every sentence a rep, every bar is a lift. Me no wait for belief, move first, then it sticks. Confidence built from 1,000 commits. Finish what you start, that's a vow, not a phrase. Not afraid, halfway, me escalate. Never give up, isn't hope, it's a code. It's the grip when your knuckles are wide on the rope. Always keep learning, my hunger for truth. Dismantle the myth just to see what the proof. From the fall of the wall to the rise of the run. And I drink been up through but these lottie time. And that become a son, then you peel it a bet. If you label the feeling, and it's due to the debt. Trade and deceive, but the world we calibrate. Same peace don't mean that y'all the reality breaks. I see what you make. No gov, no belay. Never give up, don't drift away. Finish what you start, let it resonate. Always keep burning it, elevate, elevate, elevate. I see what you make. And move and choose. And boy, even be these don't care what you use. No laws, let's stay low. She's ready, shape. Life is what you make. Let me make no mistake.
Hey, what was the beat?
No mistake.
I didn't know. Do you know beat stuff out?
No mistake. No mistake. No mistake.
Yeah. Uncle Fatty back in the lab.
Fatty, was that them beeping something out?
No, I threw those in there.
Oh, okay, it was intentional. Are
It
you
could
able
be,
to play stuff on your guitar?
It's radio friendly. It's not plugged in. There's nothing plugged in on this one yet. Yeah, all the sound shit's fucking disconnected.
Oh, I don't have to hear you shred. Did you write the lyrics yourself? All of the lyrics?
Yeah, that song I wrote like fucking 15 years ago or some shit.
Oh my
Those
God.
lyrics. Found a whole notebook of shit that had been sitting aside. There's a bunch of them around, but this one was fuck, man. Like
And you took your own notebooks and set them to music?
Hmm?
You took your own notebooks and set them to music?
Yeah, I used to do this one on acoustic campfire
I have
song
a bunch
style.
of old notebooks somewhere. I wonder if I could do that. Yeah, we hardly hear anything.
Yeah, this thing's like needs to be plugged in. Got fucking 4 acoustics that are all jacked up, missing strings and shit and whatever. Get on the right fucking screen here. Nice. What up, Frequency Forge? Fuck yeah. New sub. It's always nice. Hell yeah. Word to your mother. This damn thing. Need to get on the other computer if I'm gonna be doing this shit. Here's let's see here. There's that newer song. Need to get this fucking right. Put that stupid thing. I got a couple of new soundboards that are supposed to work with this digital shit that I need to try to get hooked up here in the next couple of days. I used to run a big old school analog soundboard with all of the like big fat patch wires and shit. And
damn, my signal is. I'm lagging again.
Lagger.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
I'm freezing up.
Yeah, I can still hear you though. You got to clear your cache out, clear out your browser cache and all that stuff.
Yeah, the your website's not even loaded.
You know,
it's been doing this for a while. It seems like it's the router. The signal's been really low.
Yeah, clear your cache, reset the router too. It's always good every few days. Do the power down, shut off, and restart. You running VPN or anything too?
I
Probably
did.
not.
No.
What size? What's the graphics card you got in that new thing? NVIDIA or
Like new?
Yeah,
Like latest, top of the line.
40 series
NVIDIA.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's definitely the signal because it only have 2 bars. I could see it low.
On wireless? You running through wireless shit, or you plug straight into the wall?
I know. I need to figure out how to run an Ethernet into here.
Yeah, definitely.
That would
Because
be the best solution.
yeah, it'd give you a hell of a lot more bandwidth. And eating up. Yeah, that's even on Wi-Fi router. It's going to probably take, I don't know, a third of the bandwidth away just routing it through itself. Yeah, no, I actually wrote that fucking line.
I'm trying to load website and like nothing's loading right now at all. That's how low it is. I'm surprised y'all can hear me.
Yeah, I actually wrote this song to fucking program myself, actually. It's basically a form of self-programming.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Can you hear me now?
I might be going down.
Going down.
Crashed. My signal went out. It completely knocked me out of StreamYard. Maybe Fatty as well. We'll see if he comes back. Oh, you talking about real sick? Not so far, but it's still winter. I didn't get a flu shot this year. I usually get them every year, but I didn't really get out a lot. So I wasn't motivated to get one this year. I'll probably come down with something. Well, why don't we roll into a little bit of vibes? All right. If we don't get a panel soon, I might wind it down. I'll probably be out tomorrow. I'm gonna do some more with that neurodivergence chart. I find it really helpful. It helps. I think it's really good at helping people understand their own individual neurodivergence without the clumsy labels that we have that don't really give much information at all. Because if you give me 10 people that are diagnosed autistic, they're all going to be different. Kind of the same with ADHD. Then there's the overlap. Let me see who's out tonight. I can redirect you. Oh, Caldy's out. He's playing music too. I'll send you over there. Okay. Oh, B. My God. Thank you so much. Hang on. You deserve something. You deserve some fanfare. Let's find you something good. Thank you very much. The avocado. Okay. One of my favorites. Thank you. You too, freak. All right. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. I'll try to be out tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. You too, Mr. Beak. Freak. Laura, good to see you. Ed, good to see you too. Shift. Everybody else, thank Fatty. Thank Dominic. Banksy was up here. And enjoy your trip to Caldy's. Tell them I said hi. I'll see you later.